right. Hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble 167 Return Tuesday, reviewing your 2-for-1 special, your one time a year 2-for-1 special here on AEWramble, where we will discuss AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, as well as the October 8th, 2024 edition of WWE NXT as they went head-to-head. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 55,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. And this week, with his viewpoints, his point of view on NXT proper, he is Jimmy Macram. How are you doing, Jimmy?
I'm good. How the hell are the rest of you? Actually, no, I'm not good. I hated that fucking Tuesday show. I hated both those shows, ain't gonna hold you. So.
Surprisingly, I'm not, or unsurprisingly, I'm not as negative on Title Tuesday. I think I let all my negativity out yesterday because we did our Wrestle Dream preview. Because, like, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Wrestle Dream, it topped Double or Nothing for the worst build to a pay-per-view for AEW this year.
Jesus.
It very much feels like when we were in Cardinal Hayes and we had like a Latin test, we had a math test, we had a history test, an English test. And then we're like, oh shit, I forgot we got a science test too. And that's Wrestle Dream. Oh shit, I forgot there's Wrestle Dream. We got Grand Slam. We had the 5-year anniversary. We got the cable TV deal. We got the title Tuesday. Oh shit, there's also a pay-per-view on Saturday.
Well, I don't know why we're gonna count title Tuesday. I clearly didn't give a fuck about that either. I'm sorry. I'm never Hologram versus Commander. This is some sabotage going on. We're trying to give this thing away. We're trying to set a record somehow. What are we doing? All right, stop. Lord, what?
And that was the first match, like 20 minutes into the show. Like, where does AEW have their first match 20 minutes into the show? Are you trying to help the program? Are you even trying?
Trying to send a message, huh? I'm not sure what the fucking message is. We quit. We stole your money. Thanks, stupid. I don't know what the message is, but good Lord. All right. Positivity. We just started. That'd be nice.
We're going to talk all about both shows from Tuesday night. We appreciate y'all if you are joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And, of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or even on Twitter, you could sound off in the live chat, and we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to support the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and show your appreciation for us having to watch these two shows. Very much. It was like, hey guys, it's Tuesday. Here you go. We'll throw some main roster people on NXT just to look like we're trying to compete with the other show, but the other show just said, "Nah, we ain't gonna do all of that. We ain't gonna do all that."
Hologram and Commander, and on the other channel was Sexy Red. What is going on here? Am I being trolled? This is insanity. Oh, good Lord! I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Get him sexy. Get him sexy.
I'm watching Thugger out there dancing. This is insane.
Thuggery. It's Young Thug. But yes, show your appreciation with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. Goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate you guys' support. But we got a whole bunch of people already in the chat with us today. We got G Loke, who says, what it do at True Hill Heat? Smash that like. And wait, is Mr. Jimmy in the house? Let's go. Been waiting for this. We got confused yesterday. I bet G-Loke did not know that it was on Tuesday. Like half of the AEW audience from last week.
I didn't know either at first. I just showed up. It just kept saying Title Tuesday. It didn't hit me Title Tuesday. That's so weird. Then I didn't find out something came on air that week. He was like,
that's a weird day. That's a weird day for a Wednesday show.
Oh, I get it. Holy, that rating was heinous.
And they only called it that because it was on a Tuesday, because there sure enough wasn't enough titles at stake on Title Tuesday.
We got 100 of them. I think you can put more titles on one.
You put more than one. They decided to put one title match, but it was for 2 titles. See, Title Tuesday. 2 titles. We got Eric Isaac who says, "Hey THH fam, welcome back, Nikita, Penelope, and Daniel. Willow versus Mariah at Wrestle Dream is a go. HBK beat TK again on Tuesday night. Whoop Yat Trick and Yeet." He hit all the points from both shows.
Yeah, that was a beatdown.
Oh, HBK demolished TK. Like it was ugly. When I saw the number, I had to double take. I had to get like a second reference. I was like, seriously?
This can't be right. Oh,
ooh. Record low Dynamite rating. Record low. I mean, they didn't help themselves by having to start at 9 o'clock too. What is this, Monday Night Raw in the 90s? That worked for Monday Night Raw in the 90s, but you ain't Monday Night Raw in the 90s, fam.
Yeah, it's just like nothing went right. They're already cold. You're going against NXT on fucking broadcast TV. You're not putting together a very compelling fucking card.
And you start an hour late.
Shoot.
And like this is my thing. AEW has always had this once a year where they've had to make changes, whether it like from like 2020 when they had to like move because of the NBA playoffs, and the last couple of years it's been because of the MLB playoffs. But I'm saying, like, can't y'all move to like a Thursday or not Friday? Because Friday you'll get demolished too. But Thursday seems like the only reasonable kind of alternate outside of. Don't go against these niggas anymore. Y'all got straight money.
Hold on, time out. Has this knocked you off of your wanting Shockwave to be on Tuesday? Has this knocked you off that?
No, because that's a fair fight. It's on both on broadcast TV. So at least if they're gonna lose by the same amount they lost last year.
Fair enough.
It's not a fair enough fight because there's already we've done the math. We are very good. We're not only good at breaking down Dynamite, we break down math very well. Sometimes I will admit you are kind of right. I do have biases and I don't always get my math right, but you are very math oriented. And we said before with what we've seen data wise with SmackDown on USA Network versus SmackDown on Fox, there is a 200 to 300,000 difference between being on broadcast TV to being on cable TV. And NXT has proven that over their first 2 weeks on the CW. They were averaging about 650 to 700, and they've done over 850 both weeks in a row. Like that's a $200,000 difference. But basically what happened with this Title Tuesday versus NXT, they had the 300,000 difference that was last year's Tuesday shows going up against each other, and then added the broadcast to cable difference of 200, where they lost by 500,000 viewers. They lost by 500,000.
Oh, they lost by more people than they had. That's jarring. That's too many people. That's too many people. You should try harder. I'm sorry. I'm not okay. I'm not okay at all. I thought I would enjoy TK losing, but it's not fun if he doesn't put up a fight. If you just fucking sit there and let stuff get kicked, just some little man getting kicked. That's not fun. It's not funny at all.
Like last year, they at least had Bryan versus Swerve for the first time. What would become their biggest main event of the year this year was on Title Tuesday last year. This year, he didn't even have any like big time singles matchup for him to put up against NXT. I mean, when you really think about it, like, yo, I said it yesterday on the Wrestle Dream preview. They shouldn't have not done Wrestle Dream this year. Should have just been a 1 year thing. They hit the ball out the park with Wrestle Dream last year. It was a great show from top to bottom. It had Adam Copeland, debut at the end. You had the TNT title in the main event for the first time. You had Bryan and ZSJ, FTR and Aussie Open, the first Hangman and Swerve matchup. They hit it out the park. But it was the 1 year anniversary of Antonio Inoki. It was an Antonio Inoki tribute show. This show is not even close to being an Antonio Inoki tribute. There's one Japanese talent on it, and it's not Okada. Like, what?
I was looking at this show, and this show very much reminded me of like a this is going to be way too old for reference both of you, like a mid-97 WCW show where I'm looking at it and I'm going, I know they have a pretty good roster, but where the fuck are they? I see why am I seeing Glacier versus Mortis on this card? Why is there fucking Benoit versus Taskmaster? This is awful. Ugh.
And to add on to my point about them not having it, they shouldn't have done Wrestle Dream this year, because if you don't do Wrestle Dream this year, you could have pushed the Ricochet Ospreay match for this week.
Ooh, that worked.
You could have done it for this week. I guarantee you probably would have done over the number that you got this week. I'm not gonna push it and say, oh, you would have done 500 or 600. No. I'm just fairly sure you would have done over the number you did this week, because you had no marquee matchups in comparison to last week that had two of them.
Very good point. That's a very good point. I'm not against that idea. All the nerds would have tuned in, certainly. See fucking Ospreay and Ricochet. See the biggest star in the company. Well, the biggest active star in the company, and WWE mid-carder. And by WWE mid-carder, I mean also an AEW mid-carder, because they haven't treated him as more than that. Sorry. We love Ricochet. He's great.
I mean, I love Ricochet. I don't know about you. Senior Nurses, remember the last time AEW went head-to-head with NXT? Dynamite opened with Bryan Danielson and Swerve. Oh, yeah, it was commercial-free, too. Like, they were like, we're trying to compete. We're at least trying to compete here. Tuesday show was not them trying to compete.
Yeah, I think he took our advice a little too strongly. I was like, hey, fucking stop talking so much. You just got your ass kicked. He was like, all right, fine. I won't talk. I won't do nothing. Just like a girl. He's like, all right, fine. You want me to talk? I won't say anything for the rest of the fucking week. All right. Whatever. All right.
Fuck, she gonna give me the booty. Just sleeping like this. Give me the cold shoulder. We got Big Man Dogs. He says Javon passed the Orton test standing next to Randy without looking ridiculously tiny. I mean, he did physique-wise, he did look kind of tiny in comparison to Orton now.
Is Randy going to stop? He appears to be getting even bigger. What is going on, sir? I know you want to fucking whatever, but I thought you'd get older. You're supposed to like slim down for your health.
Nope.
Fuck it.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Bell says hello to all. Why did NXT have one more title match than AEW Dynamite on Title Tuesday?
They just needed a fucking.
They should have been called Title Tuesday. They should have been real petty and called themselves Title Tuesday.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That's
We got a super chat donation from the one and only Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, for the huge super chat donation. We appreciate you, and that's why we want you.
Oh, speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan. What the hell is wrong with you?
Will Chisholm says, if 97 HBK, Triple H, Hall, and Nash was in AEW, how long would it take before they try to take over the locker room and Triple H babyface himself and HBK try to smash Britt and steal and take him?
Jesus!
Jesus Christ, he went in. It was just like, I'm just going to pile on this shit.
How long before they take over the locker room? I think they it doesn't take very long at all. I think they pretend like they like the lead and they bring the Bucks in, and then they take over, and then they make fun of them behind their back. Certainly. I think it's really easy. And once that's done, they're really good, Nash and Michaels in particular, making people like them. It's a weird situation.
Yeah. I think Nash is just like he's so authentically cool.
Right? Like, I like him. I don't know why. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's great.
Even when he's shitting on people, he's just cool. It makes him sound like he's telling the truth, even if you don't believe him.
I like him.
Oh, I love it. We got Chuck Berry's in the chat. Thank you again, Will Chisholm. Chuck Berry saying, "What's good, THH fam? I was pissed off after watching my Phillies and Title Tuesday, and the NXT did absolutely nothing for me." Sound like Jimmy.
I'm on the same fucking page, brother. I can't believe I spent. Oh, I didn't watch it on Tuesday. I watched it on Wednesday. I can't believe I wasted a Wednesday watching this horse shit. Ugh. I can't believe this. Why am I doing this to myself? That's for this job. I'd have left a long time ago. I ain't gonna hold you. Maybe how long have I hated Dynamite? A while. When Collision was on, that's when I realized Dynamite stinks. When Punk was on Collision, I was like, oh my God.
I was last year.
I was like, oh my God. This is what wrestling's supposed to be. Oh. No. Never mind. We didn't know how good we had it. I did. And I told everybody that would listen. As SP3 can attest to. I would just be randomly live tweeting about Collision, about how great this show is. Hot crowd, star in the middle, main events always. I tell you, it's the most important part of the wrestling show. And now this. Wheeler Yuta, my main event. Half dead crowd. And fucking
That crowd
Commander
was
Hologram.
so bad. That was one of the worst Dynamite crowds of the year.
That was jarring. I was like, oh my God, you guys don't give a fuck either, huh? Fair enough.
And the difference between AEW and NXT is that NXT had a little less people than AEW, but they did it in a building that holds 3,000. AEW's doing a building that holds fucking 10,000. And it just sounds really, really bad in comparison to NXT, who packed it with 1,700, and it sounded really, really loud, like it was a sold out place.
It's wild, right? It's such a terrible idea. I don't understand. I gotta see what you call it. I'm sure Brandon, what's his face, WrestleNomics guy, has got to have a reason for why they fucking have these 12,000 seat buildings. There's got to be a reason. He's getting a discount, or it costs the same amount, or something. I need to know.
Or you get like a joint deal. He gets like multiple dates for the year for one price, something like that. Like, yeah,
it's got to be something. Speaking of which, by the way, I like Sapp a lot. Sean Ross Sapp, that is. And I get you in trouble. I like Sean Ross Sapp a lot. And I appreciate him. I appreciate him.
I'm not gonna get you in trouble. I'm not gonna get you in trouble.
I appreciate him doing his due diligence by asking TK about the whether or not WBD has a stake in AEW. But it's time to let this go. The answer is yes, quite clearly. I don't know why everybody's avoiding this. I'm not even sure why it's a deal one way or another. What do I give a fuck? But it's clearly a yes. You ask your girl, has she been with anybody else since she's been with you? And her answer is, nobody is stuck in my vagina. The answer is yes, she has. She's a cheating whore, and you should get rid of her, sir.
She's been kissing him, but she just refuses to have sex with him.
Let it go. Clearly. Like,
that's what he said. He said, I have the overall majority voting power. Oh, so they have 5%. Got you.
Right? Say something else. Or lie. What do we care? Jesus.
Oh, gee, we got Chiller with Chase says Jimmy is the best. It is true. It is true. Oh, man. But let's talk about both shows. AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. Do you have any thoughts on this? Sad crowd in Spokane, Washington.
Heinous. I didn't know it was my volume or what. Then I turned it up and said, oh my God. I could hear each individual person. What? Oh my God. Ugh, why are there three of you in this building?
AEW Dynamite Tuesday came on the air with Jon Moxley cutting in promo ahead of his AEW World Title matchup against Bryan Danielson. He says no one wants the blood of the legendary Bryan Danielson on their hands, despite Danielson trying to kamikaze himself for over a year now. The way things have worked out, it has to be Moxley who gives a wake-up call to AEW. You don't get to pick the day. Everyone living in their fake world. Saturday nights, they'll see the truth. Moxley brings up the dark side of Danielson, which is a beautiful thing. As you go back, if you back the dragon into a corner, he becomes something truly terrifying. Danielson has never been comfortable with that part of himself. But as his world closes in around him, he will embrace his dark side. Moxley will be ready. He doesn't have a choice. There aren't enough people in the state of Washington and in this building to stop him on Saturday. What Moxley stands for is too powerful. Who shall we fear? Moxley will run into the mouth of war, so run while you have a chance, as he only hopes one day Danielson will understand it has to be this way. The stakes are too high. Moxley's been knocking his promos out of the park. Like the pre-tape promos, he, like, you said it before, I'll say it again. He's the best 2-minute promo in the game, especially on these pre-tapes.
He's great. You don't get to pick the date. It's one of my favorite quotes from Moxley in a while. It's kind of wild. You don't really, in a sport of violence, you don't really get to decide when you're going to walk away. It easily happened before that. I'm here for it. I'm here for everything Moxley does. The most interesting thing on this show with relative ease, except Marame. So let me
I saw a meme of they was like Bryan Daniel. It was like a person holding a globe, like holding the globe, that kind of like painting, and it had Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, and then it had Wrestle Dream on the globe, and it was like Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and the BCC rivalry, fucking holding up the world for this Wrestle Dream build. They're the only thing. They're the best builds going into this show.
Oh, for relative ease. I can't think anybody else I put on that fucking planet. Her business is interesting. That's about it. I'm curious where that goes. Hurt Business.
Yeah. I said it yesterday. I like the Hurt Business, and I like the Don Callis factor of the three.
That sold me after this episode. I am now officially curious.
We then go to Bryan Danielson earlier today backstage, bringing up Claudio Castagnoli telling Sports Illustrated, shout outs to my boy Rick Ucchino, who interviewed him. He said that Claudio told Sports Illustrated that tonight is his last Dynamite match ever. Danielson said he and Yuta will run through Claudio Castagnoli and Pac tonight, and he will run through Jon Moxley at Wrestle Dream. And Moxley has no idea what's coming. He's been a supporter of Castagnoli in every company they've worked in, but tonight there will be no support. Tonight there will be no backup, as in Spokane, he will kick his fucking head.
You tell
Simple
him.
To the point. Simple to the point. He's been killing him too with those 1 minute. He does the 1 minute pre-tape. 1 minute pre-tape, in, out, boom, bang, boom. Let's get out of here. All right, before we get into NXT's proper opening segment, let's talk about the proper opening segment on this show as they went into Darby Allin coming to the ring as he wanted to go face-to-face with the person who accepted his open challenge on Collision, Brody King of the House of Black. Allin called him out and told him to get his ass out here. King walks out, and we get highlights of their history between both men dating back from 2022 and their series of matches that concluded in the coffin match at Quake by the Lake. Allin said that he was excited when King answered his open challenge, but he could have asked him nicely. Darby brought up working the indies with Brody, staying in crackhead motels, and how King didn't know how his career would end up with a kid on the way. He recalls King being under a Ring of Honor contract at the time prior to Tony Khan buying it, and it was Darby who got King into AEW. Thanks to All Elite Wrestling, both of them helped their fathers retire. But the issue is King wants Darby's spot, and Allin is the face of AEW despite not expecting to make it. Allin said he's the one who does promotional work, the talk shows, but King interrupted and he said he was right. King said what happens when Darby, though, climbs Mount Everest? His dad will have to get a job again. Oh, shit. But ultimately, Darby needs someone to save him from himself. Allin screamed and sat in the corner, and he says, put him out of his misery. He's begging to start the fight now, and King to hit him with a cannonball, I mean, as he put it, but Brody told him to get up. Allin stood up and slapped King right in the face and was promptly laid out with a big forearm to the head. King went for a choke, but Darby fucking pulls out a rock out of his jacket and blasts King in the face with it. This busts King open. He's just bleeding from the mouth profusely. Security ran down and stepped between the two men as Darby still wanted to fight with Brody. As the security separates them, Brody is the first one to retreat, and they will meet on Saturday at Wrestle Dream in their home state of Washington. What did you think about this opening promo segment? I don't think it's a good first segment of the show. I think if you're trying to counter program, you counter with the wrestling, because that's what you based your whole thing of being the alternative is that you do wrestling, you do the wrestle. So you start off with a wrestling matchup, I think that this would have been better suited later in the show, but I thought it was pretty good between the two men. And Darby, man, like I went back and watched Darby Allin in the build to Double or Nothing 2023 and the 4 pillars. This is not the same guy talking. Like he has ever since Sting retired, he's just grown in his confidence and he knows how to hold himself as a star on the mic now.
Yes, he did his time, probably too much time, quite frankly, with Sting, and he's learned what he could, and now he's the man. Let him do his thing. There's a lesson to be learned there for Triple H about Bianca and Jade. Yeah, appreciate the tutelage, but kick out the nest.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
What would you swap this with then? I know you're not swapping it with Hologram and Commander. So what are you swapping this with? What match are you using? Main event?
One of the women's matches.
I'm okay with that. But there's an issue with that. It's called vaginas. More than one. It's like 2, sometimes 5, up to 5 vaginas. That's not happening.
We saw about 10 vaginas on this show.
That's how you knew he didn't give a fuck about this show. It's fine. Oh.
He said 2 women's matches.
Yo. This is fine. Like, I like the violence part of it. Anytime motherfucker pulls a rock out of his pocket, I'm sold on whatever the fuck's going on. Darby was good. Brody's good. I just don't like them together. And I don't like Brody. Are we done with the House of Black? Brody having a normalized conversation in a t-shirt and jeans we're killing the gimmick, right? Are we entering the American badass phase of the House of Black? What is this? What is this? I love Brody, but what is this? Listen, we're killing it. I'm good, but we can't go back to spooky shit next week. That's all I'm saying. We're done with spooky shit. We're done with that. I'm good. Hey.
Yeah.
It's too big. It's disgusting.
He's too big. He's too big. He's too much of a big guy. I'm so against that. Power Driver Finisher saying a good out of nowhere segment. I know I questioned why giving Brody some promo time as well, but in my opinion, it was well. Realistically, the physical stuff was a bit a mess, but I got the idea. I think it's supposed to be a mess. Anytime Darby is getting any offense on Brody King, it has to be some type of mess and he literally pulling out a rock to fight off a guy bigger than you is some trailer park skateboarder shit that I would expect from Darby.
Such an inefficient weapon too. It's so awesome. I ain't gonna hold you. It's got a rock. Is there a hammer? Anything works better than a rock. Gonna hurt your fingers. Got no fucking accuracy. It's just great. Of course, Darby has a rock. That's all that's available. He saw it on the way to the ring. He just picked it up.
He set it up in the promo last week when he had the rock in his hand. He's like, I ain't gonna get caught on the bus with no knife without a knife. I got something for the knife holders.
A rock. Absolutely.
You brought a rock to a knife fight? Like what?
Yes, this was good. I'm gonna get on this.
This is good. Yeah, this is good. Now let's move on over to NXT. Over on NXT, the show kicked off with the new NXT champion Trick Williams coming down to the ring. Absolute star. He just has that it factor to him, and just the crowd reaction and everything it adds to him. He looks like $1 million as well. He enters for a monologue talking about his big win last week, winning the NXT championship for a second time. Tricky 2 times, as he calls himself. And he says it 2 times because he's a 2-time NXT champion. Williams is soon interrupted by Wes Lee, who is in the crowd to cut a promo on Williams. Lee says that...
What the fuck are you wearing?
He says that Trick is not it. Lee vows to take the title from Williams because he said he's going to leave him in the dust just like his old partner, because Trick said that he knows the kind of person Wesley is, the kind that leaves their friends behind and screws them over. But interrupting Lee is the sudden entrance of the new Intercontinental Champion. Jey Uso is here on NXT. Huge pop. This pop was ridiculous. It was like Austin entered the building. How loud this crowd sounded for Jey Uso. Big pop from the live crowd. He looks like an absolute superstar as well. He gets the microphone and he says that Jey Uso is now in your city. Trick thanks him for being there. The crowd starts yeeting with Uso, and they yeet along with Williams as well. We do dual chants of whoop that Trick, yeet, whoop that Trick, yeet, whoop that chick, yeet. It got a little old after like the third time they did it. They go right from that previous segment into introductions for our first match, and it brings out Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and NXT North American champion Kalani Jordan, and all the champions pose in the ring together. I was like, look at this. You think Triple H don't see color? Well, HBK does.
I'm about to say HBK looking out for his boy. I appreciate you, sir.
It's like, I got you, man. I can see color, even if you can't. I can see it. What did you think about this opening segment here? Trick setting up, it basically seems like Trick Williams versus Wesley as the next NXT championship rivalry, and then Jey Uso just coming out for the pops and to give them some main roster star power on this show.
I was to say this is so silly. You don't need Jey Uso at all on this show.
No,
but
oh, dude, like literally, I was like, I had to go back today and watch it. I was like, did they really just bring out Jey Uso to say one sentence and then do the whoop that Trick, eat shit? That's all. That's it. That's it. No, I was like, am I remembering this wrong? Let me go back and watch it again. I watched it again. I was like, nope, that's exactly what they brought him out for.
Big man dogs. That's exactly right. But you can't say that, so you end up with like just a really bad 1985 answer. He wanted to say was, if I'm a racist, I'm really bad at it. Look at all these fucking sand niggas I have on my show. But he can't.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
He can't say that, obviously. So he's like, I don't see color. Everybody's like, oh, I'm here for you. I'll say it for you. You're a bad racist, sir, because these niggas, first of all of them love black women. They're all like the anti-Swerve. They're all married to black women.
Yes.
I got your back, sir. Don't let them come at you. No, props to, I'll be nice. I'm not getting any trouble. We're going to keep it clean. Going to keep it clean on a Wednesday, or Thursday, rather. This was fun. NXT always feels strange like a party.
It does.
Right?
It feels like Dynamite from 2021.
But they do anything for me? Yeah, I would say the first 15 or so minutes, great. And then like the party goes on a little too long. Like, oh my god, I see nothing good on the show. Outside of the great with Femi. Who will be fucking he's gonna be fucking Triple H's Thanos. I guarantee it. Talk your shit now. He's about to go crazy.
He's like, I got it. Y'all want some color? Y'all want some color?
Y'all be sick of this nigga in a minute. I'll show you. All right.
Oh man, we got Part Jerry finishes. Hey, someone's got to say it. Yes, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Wait! I almost thought this said Jigaboo. Jiggle Mania with Trick, Willie, and main event Jey Uso. Yes. I will say I do agree with Big Man Dogs. He says the difference between Trick and this guy is crazy. He sounds so uncomfortable on the Wesley turning heel. I think was
Wesley. Who's Wesley? Wesley's this guy. That's hilarious.
This guy. So mean. So mean. This guy over, he dressed like this guy. He did. In comparison,
you like the heel turn?
No, I like the heel turn. I think it's what he needed. He needed something because just him being the plucky babyface, it was good for him as a North American champion, but he needed a big shift in his character after his failure to regain the North American championship. And if he was going to be elevated into the main event scene, he needed something like that. And I think they did a good job overall with the Rascals feud. Although I don't, I understand, putting over TNA and having the X Division champion win at No Mercy. Honestly, I feel like Wesley should have won both matches, and just like Zachary Wentz is not under contract. I'm sorry. This was a time where I wanted WWE to be WWE instead of we're cool with everybody.
I mean, I get it, but fuck him. Listen, I'll be nice. Fuck him.
Just fuck him.
You're lucky to be here. You're welcome. Sell the company, please.
Annika says NXT is that hole in the wall club that's mostly popping. Please don't change that for broadcast TV. No, they had that feel on this show, and last week's show was more like watered down main roster though. I will say.
Yeah.
Being in a bigger building, it just didn't feel. It was like, I'm okay with y'all doing this for takeovers, for premium live events, but it just did not feel like NXT in the Allstate Arena.
Felt that'd be ECW to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this show, because it very much, it was like I told the True Hill Heat chat, I was like, it felt like St. Louis got the Performance Center.
Ooh.
Like they just moved. They probably, if they're gonna do traveling, if they're gonna become a touring or semi-touring, they need to do the smaller buildings. I think that's where they can capture the feel.
Yes, certainly. Because the big building last week. Yeah. I mean, I get you make money as possible. Punk's there, but still, come on now, knock it off.
Yeah,
you still next to
yeah. But let's talk about their opening matchup on NXT. You had Kalani Jordan, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair versus Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix, or as I like to call them, Team Toxic Attraction. You had the story of the matchup going in was Fatal Influence was upset over all the NIL athletes and were picking on Kalani Jordan, so she got some backup in the athletes of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Henley and Jordan started off the matchup against each other. The heel trio makes quick tags, and Jordan is seemingly in trouble. She counters and fires up. Cargill and Belair come in, and they start to clean house. They do the Wakanda Forever pose with the flex at the end. Henley hanging in the ring with the main roster talent like Belair was a nice kind of reinforcement that she could be ready for the main roster. She looked really good in there against Bianca as well as Jade. We get the hot tag in, and Bianca Belair might be probably man or female, might be one of the best hot tags out there. I know usually she's the babyface in peril, making the tag to Jade Cargill, who also has a good hot tag, but Bianca is just something different on the hot tag. Her doing like the high step vertical suplex and the moonsaults and stuff. It just looks so good. You get Belair and Cargill doing tandem offense on Nix. Jordan follows up after the wheelbarrow German suplex by Jade Cargill and Bianca with a split-legged moonsault for the 1-2-3. The babyfaces picking up the win here, and they looked good doing it. Decent enough matchup, but this was all about the kind of the star power of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill transferring over to Kalani Jordan here, and I think it did a good job in doing that. What did you think about this opening matchup here, and what do you think about Kalani Jordan if this was your first time?
She's talented. I don't know if she's the finished product yet, especially when she's right next to Bianca. You go, oh yeah, it's a little bit of a gap here because that motherfucker might be the best in the business. Yeah, this was fun. This was, we'll say, I don't want to sound rude. Painless sounds rude. What I mean is, it was there, it did its job, and then it was done.
Yeah,
I know we are doing the Bianca and Jade thing, and I appreciate it. I think it's been rather helpful to Jade in general. But at some point, you kick Jade out the nest. And Bianca is a star. The biggest fucking waste. I won't say waste of star, but she could be doing so much more. And
I would say she's probably the most underutilized WWE star of 2024.
Which is really odd considering that they will not stop putting her on every single thing they can. Fucking video games, posters. She's where Bailey should be in all the posters. She's everywhere. I'm not knocking it. She's a star, but you should start. I get it. Use it with Jade to carry this mess of a division. But at a certain point, cut your losses. This is not working. She's not working. Just you have 2 stars instead of 1 tag team, please, and thank you.
I feel you on that. I love that people enjoyed my Timu Toxic Attraction. It's because it has JC Jane in it. That's why they're Timu Toxic Attraction. Like you didn't want to keep Toxic Attraction together after Mandy Rose left. So you broke them up. You did a year of JC Jane on her own, and you were like, nah, this is not a good idea. We should put her back in the group.
I couldn't tell you.
He was like, I was not watching NXT.
Say Timu Toxic Attraction. Sounds interesting, I guess. If I knew who the original Toxic Attraction was, that means something to me.
You never seen Mandy Rhodes in her group of
I've seen lots of Mandy Rose. Oh, you mean like on TV? No.
This pervert over here. You hear this guy?
Sorry.
Oh, ridiculous. Going.
Is she dating Mello?
Who? Kalani Jordan? Yeah.
The fuck. No. Well, trash. You're right. Trash. She's really cute.
She is. She does have like. I think that she needs more of a personality, but. Like I said, the whole point of this matchup was the star power of Jade and Bianca transferring over to Kalani at least for a night, and I think it worked.
Agreed. I was gonna say she could just be a fucking generic babyface, like Jack Perry should be, but it's not really working out for Bird Lady, so might have to find a personality of some kind.
Yeah, it works in NXT pretty well, but it does not work on the main roster. You get lost in the shuffle, and then you're stuck in a 10-woman tag that people are frustrated about on Raw.
Coming out to Natalia's. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. One of my least favorite wrestlers on the planet. I'm sorry.
No, nothing says we don't have anything for you. They're coming out with Natalya to Natalia's music.
I'm sorry, Bird Lady.
And facing Pure Fusion Collective at the Unholy Union.
I almost cried. What the fuck are we doing? I know you want to have women on the show, but no, we can do it without them for a night. That's all we got. We can do it without them. Fuck it.
Big Red Dog says she's very pretty and acrobatic, but she just needs work on her promos. Yeah, most definitely. She needs a personality, but outside of athletic, she's basically mid-2000 black person on the main roster. look at this athletic Negro. Look at this athletic Negro. Hey.
Vince did have a type. That's hilarious.
We got another super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. We appreciate you, and that's why we're going.
Listen up, you prick.
Chuck Berries says HBK was like, this night is for the culture. Trips ain't invited to this party. I want all the white people to chuck and jive for me. He cuts his Booker T promo from 2003.
Oh shit! What?
You guys are here to entertain me.
Shelton Benjamin, that's a good shout.
Yeah,
that's a good shout.
Yeah. That's exactly who I was thinking. Mid 2000 Negro on the main roster. Yep. Shelton Benjamin. Oh man, we got thank you, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donation. Always appreciate the love and support. Moving back over to AEW Dynamite, Renee Paquette was backstage with Lance Archer and Jake Roberts as she brings up Don Callis wanting to recruit Archer, as Callis walks in saying that it's an exciting day in All Elite Wrestling as he and Roberts have done the first ever talent exchange in company history. Lance Archer is now officially part of the Don Callis family as Archer shakes hands with Callis, who refused to answer Paquette's question about Will Ospreay. He walks off with Archer, who gave one last handshake to Roberts before leaving. Paquette then asks who Jake Roberts got in return for this talent exchange, and he asks that if she likes surprises because so does he, and he walks off. What do you think about Lance Archer joining up with the Don Callis family? Basically, this told me, I'm guessing Powerhouse Hobbs is not in the family anymore because your heater for the family role just got filled.
The first could have been a really interesting segment if you got some actual time. But at the end of the day, none of this means anything to anybody. I don't think either of these two groups will last 3 months. I think this group is done. Except Don Callis, he'll be fine. But everybody else, I'm sorry, who cares? Who cares about LFI? Who cares about Lance Archer in 2024? You had your chance with Lance Archer, and you botched it several times. It's like the original Wardlow. What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do with this? Even fucking Lance doesn't know what to do. He's just standing awkwardly in the background when this is supposed to be about him. It's so weird. I'm sorry. I was so annoyed. I was like, I like everybody here, and this kind of stinks. It doesn't stink. It's just like happening like this. You can tell when an AEW segment's gonna go 45 seconds. He's going, oh, okay, yeah. They're talking really fast. This is over. All right. Fair enough.
Then we go to commercial, and we come back for commercial, and Renee is outside. This was one of those Renee Paquette is everywhere nights on AEW. She's outside, and in walks in Daniel Garcia for the first time since AEW All Out. He's on AEW TV, and she asks about his whereabouts since this is the first time we're seeing him. Garcia says that he wants to give her an answer, but he owes it to the fans to give an explanation, and he'll be out later tonight to talk about it.
Oh, this stinks. It's going to stink worse later on. This is a heinous idea. First of all, nobody gives a fuck about this. The people who do give a fuck about this aren't going to be confused about what he's going to say. He just shut up on AEW television to announce what? That he's what? Leaving? Right. Absolutely. You forced fucking Ray Phoenix to stay. But I convinced that you gave Daniel Garcia TV time to come here and tell us he's leaving. Right. This is a waste of my life. Shoot me, please. Good Lord. Oh. You didn't think that through at all.
Finally, about 22 minutes into the show, we finally got some wrestling on the show. It was Hologram going one-on-one.
Oh, my God!
Commentary puts over Hologram being 13-0, his winning streak, which has mostly been on episodes of Collision, as this is his AEW Dynamite debut. We get a quick series of takedowns in the early going. Both men trade arm drags and monkey flips, landing on their feet before going to a stalemate. We get a test of strength that led into a pop-up backflip off of Commander's chest as they did deja vu and sent Commander outside, where Hologram darted himself with connecting with a tope suicida, which he just went right through Commander's chest, leading him into the barricade. Both men were trading submission holds for a bit here before Hologram turned things around with a snap suplex to get control into commercial break. Commander flipped out of a drop down and did a wild somersault springboard series into a Hurricane Rana that sent Hologram outside. Commander sprung over the top rope with a dive before going back inside. He tried for another springboard, but got caught by Commander, who tried to springboard in, but he meets him and then hits a fucking power bomb in midair. That was a crazy spot. He counters that into a power bomb, only gets a near fall for that one. We get both men slowly coming up, slugging it out as it turns into kicks before Commander tries a backflip into a slam, only for Commander to spike him into a poison Rana. Commander wanted a follow-up, but Hologram popped up and hits a Poison Rana of his own. Commander tried a springboard Poison Rana, but Hologram was able to catch him. He does a wild-looking airplane spin into a Blue Thunder Bomb for the 1-2-3 here. Hologram picking up the win. I thought this was a very enjoyable opener, high-flying, flippy shit, if you will. The fans actually got some type of reaction to this, even though it was about 4 people reacting, but that's who's in the building. We get Jake Roberts, who comes out on the stage as he's basically distracting the luchadors before LFI come out. Roosh, Beast Mortos, and Dralistico, they run out and attack both men, Hologram and Commander, tossing Commander to the outside. They all gave the La Faction Inganables pose as Mortos reluctantly at first, but he joins in and he does it, and so does Jake Roberts. So it seems that in the talent exchange, Jake Roberts is now the manager of LFI, which is something I didn't see coming, because I never even considered Baruch a part of the Don Callis family. Or I don't think Mortos even did a segment with the Don Callis. I don't know how he got 3 people that's not in the Don Callis family for the insertion. But Jake Roberts won the talent exchange. I'll give him that. He got 3 for 1. So, and 1 they didn't care about. It was announced yesterday morning.
What?
At AEW Wrestle Dream, it will be Hologram going one-on-one with the Beast Mortos in a best 2 out of 3 falls this Saturday at the pay-per-view. What did you think about Hologram versus Commander and LFI and Jake Roberts joining forces?
We don't usually have the ratings because we usually have Dynamite on Wednesday. Obviously it was on Tuesday, so the ratings are out. First quarter hour, 450,000 people. That's fine for considering what's happening. Next for this, 290, 150,000 people. What is this, Cal Fletcher? 150,000 people got up and left. A third of the audience said, "I'm going to pass on that." What are we doing? Now listen, you're for the sickos. I'm here for it. Shouldn't this be later on in the show? Shouldn't this be on Collision or Rampage? What the fuck is this? Why am I seeing Commander? I thought they were trolling. I thought Raw might have did something where they did like Dragon Lee or Mysterio or something. They were gonna like troll them by doing a shitty version of that. No, nothing. What is this? Why is this here? Why is Hologram on Dynamite? Is this the least give a fuck about Dynamite match in 3 years? By somebody who's never on the show and somebody who never wins on the show. I can't think of a let's give a fuck match. Off the top of my head, I can't, at least. Usually give a fuck about one person. Like, you don't give a fuck about Amy Sakura, but you like fucking Mercedes. Or you give at least half a fuck. 2 don't give a fuck? I'm so annoyed. Well, the match was fine, I guess. If I was watching Dark, sure. It's not even time, Annika. It's the 15th through the 15th. This is the 8th. What are we doing? Good Lord, this stinks. Oh, I don't understand. I don't understand even a little bit. One of these guys could have been Ricochet? Because the Ricochet versus one of these bums. What the fuck?
Then Ricochet versus Commander. Why not?
Sure. And the Ricochet wins.
At least that's building to a match we already know was on Wrestle Dream instead of one that you decided on the next morning after the show.
2 out of 3 falls. Beast Mortals versus Hologram. Somebody explain to me what is going on. Somebody knows.
They do have a bit of a rivalry. They did face on Collision in the summer when they were in Arlington, and then they had the 3-way matchup on Collision where Mortals first joined up with Roosh and Dralistico to attack Hologram, and then they attacked them here. So not a very well done rivalry, but it is some history with one another.
Fair enough. How does that get you on pay-per-view? If I list this roster out, how far down the list are Mortos and fucking Hologram? I'm just asking a question. No disrespect. I know you're missing quite a few stars. You're missing your 2 only draws. I was going to say biggest. Your 2 only draws, MJF and Kenny Omega. I understand that. Swerve's not here. He's coming back to pay-per-view. I get Adam Cole. I get we're missing people. We ain't missing that many fucking people. Where Beast Mortos and Hologram are having a 2 out of 3 falls match on pay-per-view. We're not missing that many motherfuckers. Knock it all the way off. Stop it. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, Lord, I forgot. That's what this is about. Thank you. That's what this is about. This is about rubbing it in Ray Phoenix and fucking Pence's face. This could be one of you. But instead, it's these two bums. Oh.
Hologram's not a bum. I like Hologram.
I'm sure he's great.
I think I've accepted the fact that Commander is just
there. I like that video package he did for Hologram. Was it 2 months ago? Whenever the fuck that was, it looks cool. That was 2 months ago. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I almost tapped out at this point. I'm like, you're trolling me. You're fucking with me. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it at all.
You're like, don't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
If Jake was to talk more, I'll call it a win. Because I like Jake talking. He's great. He's always been great.
It's going to be interesting, the pairing of Jake Roberts with LFI.
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't see it going great. I ain't going to hold you. But
yeah,
Jake for a while.
I mean, they just re-signed Jake this year, so they had to do something with him. So I guess this is better than him and Lance Archer because that they just stopped caring about that after the first program with Cody.
So weird. You can see what Cody cares about and then who they care about. Cody cares about Lance Archer. And who's the brother with the boxing?
Anthony Ogogo.
He cares about him, but the rest of us don't. So, sorry.
Lexi Nair is here on this night, and she is backstage trying to give Renee Paquette at least one segment off. She's backstage with Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, who said last week Chris Jericho didn't have to take it where he did at Wrestle Dream. It doesn't even have to be about the Ring of Honor World Championship. He's going to hurt Chris Jericho.
I don't
this matchup. I ranted about this matchup last week. Oh my god, it's just like I said last week. I thought this segment was decent enough in a vacuum, but you know what they always said about movies, like this wasn't earned. That was Jericho saying Jay Briscoe. That was so unearned. You never work with this man. What are we doing? I think you take your mic out or something.
I'm being gaslit. I'm being convinced that Jericho said some horrible shit about Jay. I swore I watched it, and I swore all he said was Jay's better than you. I'm so very confused by this. Like saying your wife's better than you, and then you go on next week talking about Jimmy talk shit about my wife, and he did this, that, and the third. When did this happen? This is insanity.
He took it to a place that he didn't have to.
What is going on? This is insanity. Whatever. I'm over Jericho. I'm over Mark Briscoe. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm over ROH.
I love Mark Briscoe. I can never be over him, but this is not how I wanted my Mark Briscoe.
What the fuck? Whatever. Is the women's match after this?
Huh?
Is the women's match after this?
No. After this is Garcia.
Okay, I got to remind myself to talk about the conglomeration shirt that Willow wears, even though I'm sure she gets no cut of it because she's not a part of the original group. Whatever.
Yeah, she's like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens always wears shirts that he doesn't get a cut.
That's so weird. What the fuck?
All right, going snapping back over to the CW as we go backstage on NXT, and we see that Randy Orton is talking to NXT Tag Team Champions Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They're interacting in a locker room skit where Orton asks them, just how fast is Javon Evans? Axiom remarks that he might be the fastest in NXT. Frazier takes exception to that, and the champs begin to bicker. Frazier then apologizes for losing his temper, but Orton says sometime you need to find that place. Orton wishes luck to the champs before they're out. This was an attempt at NXT talent doing a main roster segment.
So Orton's sitting down for this. Thank you, sir. For not dwarfing these two.
Not to make them look too small.
and his character is apparently fucking 24-year-old Randy Orton asking how fast Javion Evans is. Sir, the match is in 12 seconds. You knew this match was happening forever. Why is this the first time you're asking a question? Holy shit.
Oh man,
Be fine, I guess. This is fine.
you'll be fine. Yeah, it was fine. Like I said, it was an attempt at NXT talent doing a main roster or Orton doing an NXT segment. Either way.
Yeah, I'll see what I put it.
Then we got another backstage segment. This time it's with Sarah Schreiber, and she is with Julia. She says that she's ready for they asked her about Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez attacking them last week, and then an old friend enters before Julia can answer, and she just says, "Hello, old friend," and they walk out. This sets up
what?
This sets up the following segment, which is Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, coming to the ring for a promo after getting the win over Julia on the CW premiere of NXT. She boasts and brags about retaining her title against Julia. Perez then introduces her old friend herself, Cora Jade. Last week, it was Jade who returned to NXT and helped Perez pick up the victory to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Jade is wearing her knee brace. So I figured once I saw the knee brace, I was like, oh, they're doing something physical here, right? She cuts a promo where she says she's been hearing all about NXT being the #1 women's division in all of WWE, and she has not heard her name being mentioned. Jane claims that not even Perez knew that Jade would be interfering in the match last Tuesday, but Jade is back. And the Jade you used to know was a girl trying to make it in NXT, but now she is the woman that will make NXT. Jade does say that Perez deserves to be champion. Jade also puts over the new Roxanne Perez, that she's totally different when who she was in the past. And Jay says that is why they should be friends again. And that is bad news for the rest of the roster. Perez said that she should have listened to Jade a long time ago, but Perez finally learned her lesson. This brings out, though, Julia coming down to the ring. She stops in the aisle and waits for backup, and it's our old friend, Stephanie McMahon, making her NXT and WWE debut. They rush into the ring. They brawl with Jade and Perez. The babyface duo clears the ring. They have a brief stare down with one another, and then they see the NXT Women's Championship in the ring. Both women pick it up, and they look over at the heels, and this seems to set up that we're going to get Julia and Stephanie McMahon versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. And I would say that's a really good matchup to have at Halloween Havoc. They got a pay-per-view in just a couple of weeks at the end of October. That should be what they do there. But I enjoyed this. This was a nice introduction for Stephanie McMahon. The NXT Women's Division is like firing on all cylinders with the debut of Julia, with Roxanne Perez having one of the best NXT Women's Championship reigns in the title's history. Cora Jade coming back, and then Stephanie McMahon just makes this, all the stuff they've been saying for months about NXT being the best women's division. It's been like you telling us instead of showing us. This is finally them showing us that they're the best NXT, the best women's division in WWE.
I don't want to be rude. Stephanie, I'm glad she's here. I'm glad she looks great. She looks very, 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 very good. That's all I have to say on that. I don't know how I feel about this tag match.
As someone that has been following Stephanie McMahon, a lot of her work this year before coming to WWE, all I will say is that she looked thicker out there in these streets.
Yeah. Hey, do what you want. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
It worked.
Got my light dropping and everything. So yeah.
Tag matches to fucking pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I don't like how this has become the norm. We've started to accept these things. This is a TV-ass main event. I don't like this has become a thing now. I don't like how this has become a thing that we're all accepting. I'm sorry. It isn't.
What should they do at Halloween Havoc then?
That's none of my concern. TV, not this.
He's like, I'm not. He's not. I'm not watching that, so I don't care.
Right? This is kind of fucked up. I'm changing shit I'm not gonna watch, but still, it's a TV main event. Nothing on the line. It's just a tag. Let's go put something on the line. One of them old school fucking whoever pins the motherfucker gets the title shot.
Okay.
Didn't they just do that with them? Oh, they just did that though. Bailey and what's her face?
Yeah, Bailey and Naomi versus Tiffany and Nia Jax on SmackDown.
Fine, it was just a regular tag match. Fine,
but that's pretty much what they will do without giving it the actual stipulation. Whoever it is that get the but I don't see the heels winning. You just did that last week. Are you okay with the decision to not put the title on Julia last week?
I'm okay with the decision to not put it on Julia. I'm not okay with the decision to have Cora Jade be the one to fuck this up. I'm sorry. I always say, if you a big match like that, you have to go bigger than that if you're gonna ruin it. Like if you're gonna do fucking like for this match, you have to do like Charlotte or Becky or somebody like that ruining this fucking match. It can't be Cora Jade. I'm sorry. It just cannot be. No disrespect. Yeah, I'm glad we're all on the same page. It feels like Julia and Stephanie is where the money is. I ain't gonna hold you. I watched the match they had, whichever one that was.
It was not good.
It wasn't great.
It was in comparison to the rest of Julia's work. It was not good. In comparison to everyone else, it was fine.
It was fine. It was okay. She was just random. All right, anyway. Yeah,
it just felt like they didn't have chemistry. It just felt like they didn't have chemistry together.
Well, I doubt that's changed in the last 7 years. So let's just get the triple threat going.
It was 7, 8 years. This happened in March.
Jesus. Yeah, do a triple threat. It's hard to mess up a good triple threat.
I think that Roxanne Perez is a good ring general in the ring. For someone her age, it's ridiculous how advanced she is in the ring.
She was very solid, I thought, on NXT, which is only the third match first I've seen, I think.
She's really good. Really good. I think main roster ready pretty much. And I love how you guys are trying to get this over. The Team 2001 name, it's
what? Why is it called that? That's when they were born?
Because I think they were born in 2001.
Whatever. Yeah, Team 2001 ain't gonna work. It's not hitting. I'm sorry.
It don't work.
Doesn't sound right.
It don't work. It don't work for me. I'm not buying it, son. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I sell on that one.
I love Frantic World. Is it okay that I like Punk more? Let me ask you something, sir. I mean, I like Randy more than Punk. Sir, can I ask you a question? I've been doing the show for however many years now. When's the last time you said anything nice about Punk at all, ever? Well, I'm supposed to think you liking Randy a little more is any kind of compliment of any kind. Knock it all the way off. What are you talking about, sir?
He's like, stop.
Kind of Chris Jericho me. Yeah, Chris Jericho me. I mean, Mark Briscoe me. We can pretend like I haven't heard what I just heard last week. I heard it. Then nothing but shit on him. And I was like, oh, that didn't happen.
I like Randy more. That's a compliment.
Right.
Back on NXT, last segment before we get back to Dynamite. They went backstage and we saw Ren Sinclair watching Stephanie Vicair's debut, and she announced that she will be challenging Stephanie Vicair in her in-ring debut on next Tuesday's NXT on the CW, as she's with the No Quarter Catch crew. They walk in the back and they meet up with Lexis King. This continues with Lexis King. Yes, Lexis King, who wants some type of idea for a gimmick match with Ora Mensa where he's not able to cheat. Dempsey suggests some ideas. He says they can do a duel or some shit. I was like, this is one of those NXT segments where I don't care what the fuck they're saying.
Jesus. I'm sorry. That facial hair is fantastic. In like a heinous kind of way. Like, he just goes for it. I'm here for it.
Last week he had the Chicago Star in his fucking beard when he talked to Punk.
Has he gotten any better?
No.
Hey. You look like you're enjoying yourself at the very least.
Exactly. I think Jasmine Nix of Fatal Influence is his girl in real life. So
Jasmine Nix?
Yeah, the one in Fatal Influence in the opener.
That's gonna lie, Chief. Jasmine Nix. I mean, they don't. No offense. In fact, I'll say this out loud because I've been thinking it for years now. With AEW around, I'll say it even further because you guys' moral pretensions bother me quite a bit. If we took all the female wrestlers currently in WWE and NXT and AEW, how many of them are unattractive? 2, maybe. That we could all agree 2, 3. Right. Everybody is jarringly attractive. We would agree with this, right? Is it just only attractive women that like wrestling? Or is attractiveness a prerequisite to being on fucking television? No disrespect. You guys' moral fucking uppity-tude bothers me sometimes. When all you do is jerk off to these wrestlers. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Moral uppity-tude.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
They need to treat these women with respect and dignity. Well, why are you fucking creaming your pants, sir? Come on now. Knock it off.
Why are you breaking into the hotel to jerk off for the...
That was so wild. Wait, what? He's taking feet pictures. Huh?
Twice. He got kicked out twice.
Hey, come on, man. Come on.
I love how Big Man Dog basically said what I said, but in a way that Jimmy could understand. Lexus Clay is dating some attractive NXT woman I never heard of.
Let's say I looked her up and I was like, she looks like 4 other people in this fucking roster, and I couldn't tell you which one this is. I don't know either of their names. I don't know any of the 4 names. Oh, good Lord. Sorry.
Oh man, that was great. That was great. I like the mustache for Regal's kid. I like that.
Yeah, I like his look. He looks interesting.
Yeah. He's been showing some of his dad's charisma as of late. I'll give him that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I hope it goes better for him than pick him up for Regal. Now Regal had some, issues. But,
he had his demons. He had his demons, as they say.
Yeah.
Next up, back on TBS, you had Daniel Garcia coming to the ring. He comes to the ring and he says, it's great to feel the energy of the crowd once again, as he's missed this after sitting at home for a while. Garcia thanks Tony Khan for giving him this time, as when you're sitting at home, you question what's best for your life. Despite it not being the easiest or best answer, Garcia never wanted to be a guy who didn't follow through on his word, but felt that it was important to look everyone in the eye to let them know what he's going to do. Garcia came to the conclusion he can do whatever he wants, as he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Because Lord. He's one of the best, it's only right that he stays where the best wrestle, AEW. This actually got a big reaction from this crowd, and big is being like a small reaction anywhere else because the amount of people. He says the Daniel Garcia staying in AEW isn't the same as before. He's no longer the little bro who complains after every loss. He's the one who you can build a foundation on and puts gold around his waist. He calls out all the champions of AEW and tells them that they are no longer safe. The feeling is restored. Garcia is officially staying with All Elite Wrestling after some interest from WWE. I thought the reporting of the Daniel Garcia was hilarious, with Evil of WrestlePeriod saying that Triple H and WWE were horny to sign.
Yeah, that shit was wild. What are we doing?
But this is good. This is a positive for AEW, someone deciding to stick with them and, further through. And I think it's the best move for Garcia's career because I think he has a much higher ceiling in AEW than he would in WWE for sure. Backstage, a bunch of people congratulate Garcia on staying with All Elite Wrestling, including his friend Isaiah Cassidy. He's hugging it out with Jack Perry's girl, Anna Jay. Foreshadowing. He even he gives a handshake to Kyle O'Reilly as well as Orange Cassidy and Colt Cabana. When Katsuyori Shibata, the man who will face Jack Perry for the TNT Championship at Wrestle Dream, he walks up and through his phone tells Garcia that he'll be the next TNT champion. They both shake hands, and it was pretty much Shibata granting Garcia a title shot if he is to win this Saturday. What do you think about Daniel Garcia's promo and the fact that he's staying with All Elite Wrestling?
A waste of promo. Nobody bought he was leaving. Well, maybe like
when he came out.
Yeah. Let's say before he showed up on TV, maybe you bought it. But like once he's on TV, it's like you're here.
They should have. I don't think they should have done the backstage of him showing up. They should have just had him come out as a surprise.
That might have made it a little better. Yeah, the promo wasn't bad. Anytime Babyface calls himself the best wrestler in the world and he hasn't done dick, it's always weird. It's like, but like, how are you measuring this? But like stars? Like, I don't understand how you're measuring this, like at all. Is Full Gear the pay-per-view after this?
Yes.
It's in November?
Yeah.
Early November?
Mid-November. I think it's the week before Survivor Series, so I think it's the 23rd.
Jesus, all right, fuck it. I guess I can wait till the 23rd. Somebody should be prepared for this fucking belt. We gave it a shot. Give it a shot.
It makes sense with Garcia to be the one to beat Perry for the TNT Championship. And it is the title.
Yeah.
That he's pretty much been chasing that title since the beginning of the year because of the feud with Christian.
Also true. And it's now after Edge and Christian and then everybody else is falling to Jack Perry, it's now like more his level. It's a European Championship. Fantastic. Here, we can have it. Garcia and AEW just makes sense for Garcia. It's a much higher ceiling here than WWE. The NXT could really use another guy. Because good Lord. That division is on the rougher side.
It's like that's what I said with the first segment. I like the direction of Wesley. Wesley seems like a proper first feud for Trick, but I'm like, okay, we need to speed this up and get to Femi beating Trick for this title.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the smart move, though. If I had my way, he's done. Femi's done. He did what he had to do. Sorry, time to leave. Leave this fucking place. I'm bigger than all of you. I'm a fucking star. You would hate me. Everybody would hate me. It'd be the Femi show. It would be egregious. But yeah, I assume Garcia, that's the fucking TNT title is right about his level. And maybe he eventually goes up half a notch. But I think this is good. Good. I hope you got paid. I hope it was egregious. I hope you got overpaid. Yes. I hope Sean and Triple H did something for you, at the very least, by making him think I think he get you. Good luck to you. I like Garcia. He seems decent, like a decent dude. Yeah, I mean,
and he seems to be improving on the mic. He's way better than his first couple of promos when he first got here. He's
better than Dummy. I mean, Perry.
Yeah. With a live mic, I agree. I definitely agree.
Oh, right, I forgot. The go to pre-tapes.
Pre-tapes.
Him and the Rock right there.
Him and Raven.
Oh my God, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Right after the Garcia promo, we got footage of Swerve Strickland training with EJ and Duca. He's looking grolic as fuck. I was like, what the fuck, Swerve? You borrowed a Randy Orton vitamins out here in these streets? They cut the footage of that, and we see recently how MVP has been calling out Swerve's recent failures and blaming it on his management of Prince Nana and telling him whenever Strickland wants to talk business, he'll be ready. And then it's announced that Swerve Strickland will return to All Elite Wrestling this Saturday at Wrestle Dream in his home state of Washington in the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. And backstage, we see that MVP and his head of the complaint department, Shelton Benjamin, are watching on and looking very interested. So what do you think about the announcement of Swerve returning at Wrestle Dream? And do you think that this is setting the stage for the debut of Bobby Lashley this Saturday?
I think so. I hope so. Swerve, while a star, I don't know if he's big enough star to say I'm back and then be the end of it. So I hope so. I hope this is a Lashley segment. I assume what's his face? Swerve's second. Was it Big Brother's name?
EJ and Duca.
Sounds right. Is he going to be with him? I got that vibe from this fucking...
I think so, and I think that the long play should be you have EJ kind of come out as Swerve's entourage again, like they did before Forbidden Door, but the payoff is EJ turns on Swerve to join the Hurt Syndicate.
This is eventually done line?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, this was a little fun. I'm not going to make any Swerve jokes because I'm sure that'll come up naturally.
He said naturally. I'm over this guy. I'm over this motherfucker. Yeah, and this Eric Guy says good shout. He said last year it was Adam Copeland, this year Bobby Lashley, and even Will Hobbs returns. Maybe
what?
Will Hobbs is cleared to return to AEW and has been cleared for a while. So.
What do you mean for a while? What does that mean?
For about a month.
What the fuck?
I know.
We got Hologram and Commander. Hobbs is cleared the roster.
Why are you picking on Hologram? Stop picking on Hologram.
If Hobbs is free, that should have been the whole point of the match. Hobbs comes down like 5 minutes in and fucking eats them both. This is insanity. What the fuck?
He said eat them both.
Please.
I can't take this nigga nowhere.
Oh.
All right, signing back to the CW, and we got the NXT North American Championship up for grabs. Jimmy Macram's favorite wrestler, Oba Femi, is defending the title against Tony D'Angelo with the family in his corner. You get early on Femi looking very strong in this one, just overpowering, just kind of just keep washing Tony D early on in this matchup with his size and everything. But Tony D just trying to fight from underneath throughout this one. We get them going back and forth. They fight to the outside where Oba Femi gets in the face of the family. He even pushes Stax and Luca down, and it leads to them crashing into what's her name, Adriana Rizzo, and knocking her down as well. This seems to motivate Tony D, who starts rallying up. He starts making a comeback, fighting from underneath against Oba Femi, starting to get momentum. They fight until the opposite side of the ring, where Oba Femi looks like he's about to powerbomb Tony D through the announce table, but D'Angelo is able to flip out of it, and he gives him the bada bing spine buster through the commentary table. He then brings him back into the ring, and he hits a second spine buster for a very close near fall. Oba Femi just gets up. He looks like he's about to launch you, yokes him up, and is about to give him the Oba bomb, but it's Tony D, the Don, who counters. He rolls up Oba Femi. 1, 2, 3. Tony D'Angelo is your new NXT North American champion. This was a very good house fight this crowd was very much into both men, kind of rallying behind Tony D as Oba Femi was hitting his big moves, and Tony D kept surviving and kept fighting from underneath. And then when he got the big victory, a huge pop for the title change, as they saw a big title change on this show. Big celebration with the family and Tony D. Good moment on NXT, something that Tony D has really earned. And he's like one of the last remaining stalwarts of the NXT 2.0 era. As you know, you guys like Grayson Waller's on the main roster, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker. Like Tony D is the last vestiges of the NXT 2.0 crop that came in 2021. So a big moment for him. And next week on NXT, it will be Tony D's title celebration. What did you think about Oba Femi losing the NXT North American Championship here?
I was annoyed. I ain't gonna hold you, but I guess it's for the best. You can either go to the main roster, which he should, and then he should beat somebody big right away, or he can face Trick, I guess, and fucking win the NXT belt. Then stay there entirely too long, like Braun Breaker.
He'll have like a year-long run. That'll make him an even bigger force when he gets to the main roster. When he's ready to be the Black Thanos.
You don't need a build-up. Goldberg didn't have no build-up. He's better than Goldberg.
I mean,
you just have him come in and beat people.
I mean, I'm just gonna say some, and I know what you don't care about long matches, but it is true what Josh said on True Hill Heat this past Saturday. Oba Femi does need to work on his cardio, because when he works a match over like 10, 12 minutes, he looks like he's fighting for his life. So maybe they're gonna keep him on the developmental for a little while longer.
Is that what Josh said?
Yes.
It's weird. You don't hear from much from Josh now that I'll be nice. We used to hear from him all the time 3 years ago. He couldn't wait to tell us how great AEW was. Now it's silence. Really, it's a fucking shame. That aside, yeah, sure, cardio, whatever. I shouldn't even. They were going nuts. They were losing their fucking minds. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can. Match was good. Crowd was great. He could probably fucking do some cardio. Sure. Have longer matches. Developed. I heard Batista say some of this in an interview recently. He was treated like a monster in OVW. He didn't even learn how to fucking wrestle. Fair enough. So yeah, sure. He does some longer matches, fight Trick and people like this. Whatever. Fine.
Oh, you're hilarious. Eric Isaac saying Oba in versus Trick is the match we want.
Seriously? Let's see niggas beat up each other. All right, fair enough.
Oba is just 26, so he can be in NXT for one more year.
All right. What? Why though? But why? But why? How old was Lesnar when he won the belt? 25?
He was like,
how old was Orton when he won the belt? 24?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Look how long it took Orton to come into his own after that.
Hey,
Triple H a month later was just like, nigga, you're not ready.
I don't need you to be fucking coming to your own. I just need you to be fine. I just need you to be able to do what you did at NXT, which is amazing. Just do that for the next 2 years. But you learn as you go. You learn on the job. You figure it out. Like Orton did. He figured it out, didn't he? He figured it out.
He's like, I want on the job training, motherfuckers.
Listen, I agree with you. Big Man Dolls in particular. They need it. Yes. They need Oba. They can't afford to lose over it. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're on a brand new channel. They need guys like that. Like, you need your Julias, you need your Stephanie Vicares, you need your Tricks, and you need Oba.
Agreed. Frank was bothering me. Maybe because he says stupid shit and then he runs away from it. I like people who say stupid shit and then stick around to fucking take their comeuppance. He says stupid shit and then ignores me for the rest of the thing. And then starts talking about some other shit that nothing to do with what I talked about. Like Andrade. He'll say some stupid shit about Andrade and then leaves.
Big Man Dogs is 100% right. Yes, NXT needs Trick versus Oba. Men's division is a wasteland. It's like,
yes.
like literally, they had to go back to Javon Evans in a number one contenders matchup. This nigga still got Similac on his breath. Like, what are we doing?
Fucking Black Goldberg? No, I don't need a Black Goldberg, Yannicka. I just need Oba Femi on the main roster. And whatever he can do, he can do. Whatever he can't, he can't. I don't, whatever. That's the writer's job.
Hey, you would a black brother doing all of that, or you would a freshly, darker skinned brother doing that? Just have Braun Breaker go to the tanning salon just one more time. One more time.
All right, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Senior Nerd says, you really want Triple Paul booking Oba. Jimmy, let him say the fuck away from that big nose fraud. God damn, everybody saw that.
Where's all this coming from? What is this? Have I missed something on Twitter?
I don't got that many burner accounts. Let's go.
All right, whatever.
Oh my God, slow fight fest. Triple H is gonna have Oba John to Braun Strowman.
All right, Seth interfered. I would have had Bronson win the match. I ain't gonna hold you.
I would have had Bronson in the match too, and then just Seth come out after the match.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah. It was a moment. I was like, oh shit, that was dope. But still, come on, man.
Hey, kept Strowman strong, so he can just be out for probably a couple of months after tearing his groin in that matchup.
So to say, he looked even slow for himself. Props to him for following through, though. Good lord.
And doing the dive off the top rope with a torn groin.
To my groin, I ain't doing shit. I ain't doing a goddamn thing. This match is over. I'm AJ Styles in it. This match is over. This match is done. Y'all figure this shit out.
He said I'm AJ Styles in it.
This match is done. Y'all can figure the rest of that shit out. I don't care.
Oh my God. Then also on NXT, we went backstage where Jade Cargill, Kalani Jordan, and Bianca Belair were walking backstage when they were approached by Metaphors, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. They said that Jade Cargill says she heard them talking trash about them while they were hosting Bad Blood. And she says that they can bring the smoke on behalf of her and Belair, and they accept their challenge for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They do not back down from a challenge. However, Bianca says the champs have come to their territory, so how about they come to theirs and they have the match on SmackDown instead of NXT? It was announced later in the show that it will be Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Metaphor this Friday on SmackDown. What do you think about all that melanin in the match? In the backstage?
Jade's facial expressions are hilarious. She looks so disgusted by these bitches. Kalani Jordan looks like such a child next to them. Like even her facial expression looks weird. Listen, this is fine. This is fun. There's nothing they can really do with these belts. You're just finding shit. It's a bunch of side missions they're doing. Especially after they almost spoil a row for you. But they're fighting damage control.
It's like it's over. It's over. They already gave away the result because they take Raw a week in advance.
Like, that's the big match. And no, never mind. What are they gonna do till then? Just fuck around? There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Literally, there's nothing to do. Unless you're gonna fight fucking Nia Jax and Tiffany, who aren't gonna last that much longer. Oh well, whatever. I'm interested in the match at least.
Yeah, it's a nice test for Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, especially them having the match on SmackDown is basically them getting their audition on the main roster.
What do you think of them?
I think that if you're talking about just NXT talent, I think that Lash Legend is one of the more underutilized because I felt like by the end of last year, she had improved greatly. Like her in the Iron Survivor matchup last year at Deadline, I was like, is this the same girl who didn't know how to wrestle when 2.0 started? Because she is turned into like this monster in the ring where she can do all the power stuff. She did the whole slam on Otis last year and stuff like that. Like, she's improved a lot in the ring, but they haven't really given her more opportunities. She hasn't been getting the reps on NXT television as of late.
I mean, it's a rather stacked roster.
Yeah.
Like, she's not even the best black woman there. Top 3, I'm never sure that. Yeah, it's rather, time to start clearing some of those people out of here. Get a bump. You can use them on Raw. If I'm going to be bored, I'd rather be bored by people I haven't seen 100 times. No offense. Yeah. What am I seeing Dawn and Fire for? We gave this a shot. Why are we still doing this?
Y'all did this already. What are we doing?
I'll tell you something. I would have a 1-year program in increments. 4 months, 4 months, 4 months. I give you a 4-month push. If it doesn't work, I change it up. Heel turn, face turn, split you up, something. 4 months of that. If it still don't work, to NXT you go. And after that, if it still don't work, I'm sorry. You're out the door. I gave it a year. We're done. I'm not saying many people would be fired, but they certainly would be on Raw. No disrespect to fucking Dawn and Fire and fucking Fusion and fucking Karrion Kross. No disrespect. I gave it a shot. 8 months. Time to go. There's the door.
Sticking with the women's division over on NXT, we got a skit that set up Lola Vice getting into a fight with Jada Parker last week after they lost their tag team matchup to Fatal Influence. Vice then walks into NXT GM Ava's office and she wants a match with Jada Parker, but she says that Jada wants a match with her, but she doesn't have time right now. She has a meeting scheduled. She gets a call on the phone and she tells her meeting that she's ready to see her. And in comes the returning Nikita Lyons. Lyons starts bickering with Vice. He's trying to be nice to Vice, but Vice is like, "Oh, you need to have your meeting at another time. I'm talking to Ava right now." And she's like, "No, I'm the one that had a meeting right now." And Ava says that she was meeting with Nikita to find out who was going to be her first match back after being cleared. But I guess we just set that up, and it sets up Nikita Lyons going one-on-one with Lola Vice next week on NXT on the CW. He's like, I'm distracted. What were we talking about?
So much to be distracted by. I can't tell you how, like, Jada Parker just gives me, like, I'm sorry, ex-girlfriend vibes. Just like, how many of you have known my whole life? You're just, she gives off awful person, but you just can't do anything about it. It's just, I'm not leaving. You see her? Fuck am I gonna go? Am I an idiot?
What am I, dumb?
Dumb? So she cheats. What do you want from me? I like her. This was I don't know if it was good or not. I couldn't tell you one thing they said. I just saw a whole,
it was not good. It was not believable, but it was appeasing on the eyes, not on my ears.
Yes. Good Lord. Yes. They've all very talented. It's my further point, by the way, of I don't see any ugly people here. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or not. They all look great. Oh, they all look differently great, by the way.
Yeah.
Sean has got very, very diverse tastes, and I share those tastes. Good job. You got Jada, Lola, fucking then Swerve's girlfriend, fucking thick white MAGA lover, right up Swerve's alley.
This motherfucker.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
It's like a dream girl. He built her from scratch. He plucked her right out of Swerve's fucking head. Oh my God. Blonde, blue-eyed, thick MAGA lover. Yes.
He's like, shut.
Lord.
All right, back on AEW. Renee Paquette tried her best to introduce Mercedes Moné in a very Mercedes Moné way, but Mercedes was just annoyed by it. She brings up how everyone is having an issue with her on Twitter, and she even takes a shot at Chris Statlander, who they started a rivalry on Collision this week. Moné mentions Emi Sakura wrestling longer than Moné has been alive. But she says that tonight, when she defends both of her titles, money changes everything.
This was fine, by the way, but the silence from the crowd is hilarious. It's even funnier. Everything she says has like this kind of sitcom pause in it where you're waiting for like the laugh track, and it's just silence. He's wrestling longer than I've been alive. Dead silence.
No, they should have Camille do the laugh. Like,
oh, that'd be perfect. Big Bill. Where's Bill at? Big Bill too. Oh, heinous.
Next, we have our four-way match to determine the number one contender for Mariah May's AEW Women's World Championship at Wrestle Dream.
Did they say why? They did.
Yeah. They said it was supposed to be Willow Nightingale versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD, but Baker fell ill and wasn't able to travel.
She fell ill, and Mariah goes, "What is she fall on a tongue scraper?"
Or gave herself root canal. That's
yeah.
So Mariah May learned something from Timeless Tony Storm. I don't know if it was in the ring or on the commentary, because she kills it every time she's on commentary. She's on commentary for this matchup as it's Willow Nightingale versus Nyla Rose versus Saraya versus Jamie Hayter. The bell sounds and Saraya immediately bails out of the ring as Rose showed off her power, slamming Nightingale as Hayter quickly took the fight to Nyla. I love how they kept teasing the Jamie Hayter versus Willow Nightingale, that both me and Jimmy were like, that should have probably been the matchup. But I love how they kept teasing it before they eventually went at it later in the matchup. Saraya and Harley Cameron tried to get involved, both of them at the same time, since there's no disqualification. The brawl went outside where Rose flew in out of frame to wipe out everyone with a big dive on the outside. I was like, okay, Nyla, I see you. You're like, I'm on TV. I got to do something to stand out. At one point, Cameron punched Hayter right in the face, which got a pretty big reaction from Tony Schiavone. May asked if he needed a mint or blue chew, which was fucking hysterical. You get Hayter blocking a steel chair from Saraya, and she starts showing offense on all three women. Hayter avoided a doctor bomb from Nightingale and hit the hate breaker, which was very impressive on Willow. Saraya ran in with a thrust kick, but was mowed down by a Rose clothesline. Nightingale was up and flattened Rose with a big spine buster. Commentary sets up a table. Commentary tells how a table was set up at ringside, as May said she wants her celebration at Wrestle Dream with Mina Shirakawa, something that she's been robbed of. She's been following Shirakawa and said Timeless Tony Storm is dead. Talking about how Storm has been teaming up with Mina in Japan. Hayter somehow hits a big double suplex on both Rose and Nightingale, which was quite impressive. After slapping a steel chair shot from Saraya again, Hayter starts chasing her around. Cameron tries to interfere, but she gets taken out. As she's about to get to Saraya, in comes Penelope Ford. I was like, where the fuck have you been? She runs out with the steel chair. She smacks Hayter in the back with it. I love how Jamie Hayter was just no-selling everybody. She no-sold the chair shot to the back and then ran after Penelope Ford to the back. The crowd chanted for her tables as Rose hit a neck breaker on Saraya before going up to the top rope, only for Cameron to shove her off. This led to Willow fighting off both members of the Outcast. She hits the Dr. Bomb on Harley Cameron, and then she hits a freaking DVD through the table on Saraya. She drags Saraya over to Harley and pins both women at the same time. That was just an impressive visual. It just made Willow look like a world beater. It don't matter if it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1, Willow's going to win, and Willow is your new #1 contender for the AEW Women's World Championship. Post-match, Willow goes up the ramp to celebrate. When she's approached by the champion, Mariah May was waiting for her. She tries to slap Willow, but Willow caught her. But May fires off a headbutt and then starts whipping her with the AEW Women's World title before standing tall on the ramp. But I thought this would be the go home, and I was like, oh shit, oh man, Willow might win on Saturday. But no, they had to do another segment a little bit later. But I'm sorry, this was awesome. Mariah May is backstage with Renee Paquette. And before she can answer Renee, Willow just charges in and pounces her right out of the frame. May fucking flew. Willow then cuts a great promo where she says that I'll keep it brief.
Lord.
I just defeated 3 former AEW Women's World Champions, and come Saturday, she'll beat Mariah to make her another one. She is winning the AEW Women's World title. It is official. It will Willow Nightingale challenging Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship this Saturday at Wrestle Dream. What did you think about the 4-way matchup and the post-match with Mariah and Willow, as well as the backstage segment as
well? Match was fun, we'll say. Mariah made the highlight. She was fucking hysterical. I'll be nice about this. Saraya's not very good. Like, I don't mean to be rude. Like, I know it's not a hot take, but like every time I see it, it's a little jarring. Like, she's not very good anymore. Willow was fantastic as per always. Jimmy Hayter was really good as per always. And Nyla showed some stuff I haven't seen her do in a while, or ever, maybe. Penelope Ford. She came later. What's the other? Harley Cameron. The Harley Cameron stuff, while I don't think it added to the quality of the match, it did add to the fucking common sense of it. If I can't be DQ'd, why wouldn't this bitch be helping me? This makes no sense. Good job.
Yeah. And I think Harley Cameron has improved to the point that I would say Harley Cameron is actually better than Saraya, even though she's supposed to be learning from Saraya.
Yeah. It's time to her. Nah, we'll keep them together. Saraya's still, I won't say a star, but she's still recognizable. Despite her best efforts to not be. That was rude. I apologize. Penelope Ford coming back. Sure. I don't know what this. I'm not sure if she's about the crew. I'm not sure if she just hates Jamie Hayter for some reason. I'm not sure I give a fuck. We're just trying to keep Jamie Hayter. This very much feels like this is gonna be a fucking wild take. This very much feels like The Rock after towards the back end of '99, where we're just finding all this shit for him to do until he can win the Rumble. It's just him and Gangrel. It's him and Billy Gunn. He's in the tag team with Mick Foley. It's a whole bunch of shit, so he can't fight for the belt. Fine.
Yep.
Fine. Yeah, I enjoyed most of this. Willow was great, by the way. She did bring back one of the ass strings.
She did. I was like, something's different about Jamie tonight.
Ass string. I hope every week is just something else. Like fucking the second ass string. Then she stops wearing granny clothes. Then she gets rid of the red hair. I love Jamie Hayter. This is my least favorite look of Jamie Hayter ever. Sorry. Willow was great.
It's like with pinfall-itis.
It is bad timing. It is bad timing. I will admit it. Because I think we all guessed Willow was gonna win the match, right?
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Britt's been like her health is all over the place, so you don't know. We give her a pass. I'm gonna give her a pass. We don't know. Her health's all over the place. She's having seizures or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I give her a pass. Maybe she fell on a fucking, what was it? A tongue scraper.
The tongue scraper. Or has a root canal.
Willow was great, by the way. From everything that took place on the fucking stage, getting whipped by Mariah May, Swerve was jerking off, and the attack backstage, all fantastic. It was all splendid. Like, Willow is a star. Willow was a star.
Can't take this
I love
nigga
that.
nowhere.
Yes, the most random shit. And I don't think Rock was a fan at all, because he was catching Austin at that point already.
He was shitting on Billy the whole time.
That shit is hilarious. And then he didn't stop afterwards.
My name is Billy.
First the Rock faces Billy Gunn, and now Gangrel. Who's booking this crap? Like, the Rock is hilarious.
When he's doing the backstage promo, and he's just talking like this, able to move his hands. Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones. We get the learning tree backstage. Big Bill said that the people who need help the most are the ones that want them the least. Big Bill is the best part of this whole act. This whole fucking act. I never wish anyone to get injured. But how about Chris Jericho fall on a tongue scraper and we just make Big Bill the Redwood learning tree? They all approach backstage. Rocky Romero of the conglomeration. Jericho says that it's time for learning and for Romero to learn his self-worth. Jericho brings up the conglomeration, inviting Romero to join them months after they were already a group, just to take care of who? Smart Mark Sterling? Which Jericho said is the lowest spot possible in AEW. Jericho, look in the mirror. Jericho questions if Romero wants to be a lackey his whole career. And Romero said that he's no man's lackey. Jericho said that he'll become the Ring of Honor World Champion this Saturday, and he thanks Romero for his time. Keith told Romero, "You better listen to Chris Jericho, or else." Big Bill, easily the best part of this whole segment.
Yeah, Big Bill's fucking fantastic. I could listen to him all day. I think it's because he takes it the most seriously. Which is why it's funny. He's just silly nonsense he's saying with the most abilities he possibly can. It's Rocky Romero. Okay, so we had the learning tree trying to talk to Rocky Romero. We've had Commander versus fucking Hologram. Where is everybody at? I get it. MJF's not here. I get it. I understand.
They put anyone recognizable to be a star in the last 30 minutes of this show. When probably most people stopped watching.
Right? Yes. Yes. You don't have to wonder. Yes. Yes, they did. Good Lord. What the fuck? Oh, not well.
Then we get Switchblade Jay White back in ring action on AEW Dynamite. White's first match since July as he's going one-on-one with Cody Chun. White fired off some chops early, driving shoulders to his midsection. Chun managed a Manhattan drop, a leg lariat. He hit a float over DDT for a 1 count on Jay. Jay responded with a wild lariat and some corner strikes. He then hits a huge Uranagi and spikes Chun into the mat and then picks him up. Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3. Jay White gets the win in 2 minutes. But AEW is learning something. The best promos from Jay White is usually right after a match. And they give him a live mic. Jay White gets on the mic and he tells Hangman Adam Page that he's one of 2 men who knocked him off his path to the AEW World Championship, meaning that Page is one of 2 wrongs that White must make right. And asks what Page is going to do about it. White imagines that Page will come around guns a-blazing, veins popping out of his head, as it's perfect. It's what White wants. He wants Hangman versus Switchblade once more. And when White wins, he'll move on to correcting wrong number 2 and move on to the gold that was supposed to be his all along. White said that it's funny. The same voices who booed and despised him are the same voices who will have Switchblade Jay White AEW World Champion. As it all starts with Hangman this Saturday at AEW Wrestle Dream. And it was made official later in the night. It will be Switchblade Jay White going one-on-one with Hangman Adam Page this Saturday, AEW Wrestle Dream. So my question to you, what did you think about Switchblade's promo here? And who do you think wins on Saturday? Because we had trouble with this on our preview. I think that the best result, this is probably the closest to like, not in like star value, but as far as like what I want the outcome to be, this is very similar to Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam 2021. I'm like, a draw is probably the best scenario here because neither guy should lose.
Jay White World Champion next year. I'll give you 3 more years. It won't happen. Sorry. I'm not sure where you've been the last. How long's Jay been here? 3 years?
A year and a half.
A year
and a half. He signed in April of 2023.
Year and a half. I'm not sure you've been the last year and a half, but you don't fuck with Jay White like that. Tony Khan doesn't. I don't fuck with you like that. Sorry, I just don't.
Can't wait for Jay White to be world champion and see what Jimmy has to say.
Can't wait? Well, you're going to be in some real shit. You're going to be doing nothing but wait. Good promo by Jay. As far as the winner goes in the main event, and then the match at the pay-per-view. Listen, Jay White has to win. Hangman Page shouldn't lose, but Jay White has to win. So as far as urgency goes, Jay should win. A draw on pay-per-view? What? What's the matter with you? What? Ain't you paying for it?
20-minute draw. 20-minute draw.
What's paying for it? Oh, yeah. Let me clear it up. He won't be AEW World Champion. Big Man Dog said ROH World Champion. That's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. Jay could fall a little bit and they'll be world. Fair point, because it would have caught me off guard. AEW World Champion. Yeah, Jay White should win this match. He can win by whatever. He can win, then Hangman can attack him afterwards. You can do whatever you like. But Jay White has to win this match. Will he win? That I don't know. I could just say I'll fuck with Jay White. Sorry. So he might just lose his comeback match. He might come back and lose his fucking match. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Not even a little bit.
Fair. Backstage, we hear from Hook with a camera crew, and he says that he's tired of chasing whoever attacked his father. It's only been a week. Kip Sabian stumbled into Hook and said that it wasn't him before walking off, but then in came Christian Cage along with Nick and Mother Wayne, approached and said that they're both family men. Cage said that he lost Killswitch due to a serious medical situation, and he gives Hook his condolences on an injury to his father. And Cage and company walk off with Hook still fuming because he does not know who attacked his father. I have one clue for you, Hook. It's probably the guy who wished you condolences on your father. Like he's dead.
Well, we might have to put Priest is still in there, and Warlow will be in there forever as far as dumbest kayfabe wrestlers go. Might have to put Hook in there. First of all, looking for who attacked his father by just yelling backstage who did it. That's not quite how that works, sir. I don't think it's a great idea. You're up there. You're towards the top of the list, actually. I'm looking for who killed my father. Not just showing up to the building and yelling. All right, sure. I don't. Who cares? I'm sorry. Who cares? I'm sorry. I'm over Hook. I've been over fucking. Ain't giving a fuck about Taz. I definitely don't care what happens to Taz. Sorry, I'm just glad he's not here. I'll take the win where I could get it.
Jared was actually good on commentary. I was surprised. He was very much like Jim Ross 2020, where he only wanted to talk about the main event angles.
Very WCW-esque. Here for it. I was very here for it. I don't give a fuck what's going on in this ring. Hope he's showing up later. And the NWO promised to attack Sting. Sir, there's shit going on in there.
He's like John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, man. I can't wait.
All right, fair enough. I miss Nigel. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. I probably think that Nigel couldn't make it because I know he's I think he has a place in Florida from his time
Ooh.
in WWE. So maybe that's why he didn't make it over.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Next, we get TBS Championship and NJPW Strong Women's Championship up for grabs. Mercedes Moné with Camille going up against Emi Sakura. This is Emi Sakura's first AEW matchup since April. Both ladies.
Is that the Statlander match?
No. The Statlander match was last year.
I love that fucking match.
Yeah. Both ladies took turns backing each other into the corner and firing off chops. Yo, she was lighting Mercedes up with those chops. She even connected with a machine gun variation of chops. Sakura looked to go for a cover, but Moné kicked out before even a 1 count. Both up and collide until Mercedes scales the corner and does an arm drag, only to run into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Sakura. Moné sidestepped a corner charge and swept the leg out to the outside and did a Meteora off the steps. Back from break, Sakura fired back with some hard chops, but ate a backstabber out of the corner for a 2 count for Moné. Moné hit the first double knees and tried again, but Sakura moved and Moné flew to the floor. Sakura zoned in on the leg and hit a big splash on a hung-up Mercedes on the railing. She put her against the barricade. Camille tried to drive her into the rail, but she put Camille next to Mercedes and then did a nice little charging crossbody that really got the crowd into this one. At this point, Sakura brought it back to the ring. The referee became distracted, placing back the apron as this allowed Camille to trip Sakura up. Mercedes came back and hit the statement maker, got the crossface in, had it in for a while before Sakura tapped out to give Mercedes the victory here. I thought this was pretty solid enough. Like I said, I think the crowd took a while to get into this, but they were into Sakura. She won them over after a while fighting against both women here. Post-match, Moné held up Sakura for Camille to attack, only for Chris Statlander, the now babyface Chris Statlander, not with Sophie Hathaway, Chris Statlander ran out and booted Camille to the outside as Moné bailed and had to hold back her heater before getting back into the ring as they bailed out from this one. But there seemed to be building this one. This is probably going to be the matchup for the TBS title coming up at Full Gear. What did you think about Mercedes versus Sakura and the post-match with Statlander?
As far as Mercedes, I like getting Sakura, especially she stopped the Freddie Mercury nonsense. But who cares? Like, I'm sorry. Who buys this? To set these idiots in. Where were they? Washington?
Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, fucking meth capital of the world. Who, except for them, who bought this fucking?
Jesus Christ! I thought that was Utah.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Sorry, y'all. No disrespect. I didn't buy it at all. The match was fine. Not good enough to justify its own existence. Sorry, Alex. I'm right. Yeah, thank you. Where's from there? How do you think you developed that mindset? Meth. Post-match goes, listen, I always assumed that the Statlander face turn was because they miscalculated Mercedes being a fucking babyface. And they assumed she would stay babyface. So they turned Statlander. Now Mercedes is healed and he's Statlander babyface. But after reading the report about the partnership became unfeasible, what the fuck said about Statlander and
there wasn't an option to continue that story, was the quote.
The fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I was like, what does that even mean? And how is it not an option to at least do a backstage pre-tape where they're like Stokely's like, I think like you can kind of make a kayfabe reasoning, like I think Jay News said it on our preview, that Stokely basically gets people to where they need to be. And they could have done one final backstage segment where, okay, we finished the rivalry with Willow. You can be on your own now, Chris. I got other things to do in the tag division. That's simple. It ties up the loose end instead of what they've done.
Unless it's unfeasible. This sounded way more serious than what I thought about it. Like, they don't fuck with each other like that. I don't know what the fuck happened.
That's what that sounds like. It's not an option to continue that story. That sounds like something happened, maybe. Yeah.
But they're both still here. Maybe Statlander did something. That's the thing why she's still here, because she can get away with it. Stokely did something. He'd be out the door. What the fuck? What's going on? That was wild. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's bad. He's not that bad, is he? He can't be that bad.
Big man Dawson, did Stokely try to take feet pics? Don't come after me, Tony. I'm joking.
Statlander have a boyfriend?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I can't think of anything where
It's confusing.
It's unfeasible. She dropped the N-bomb?
And very ironically enough, the next segment was Renee Paquette backstage with Private Party, and in comes Stokely Hathaway. I was like, oh, so y'all can't be on the same show, but y'all can't be in the same segment, I don't guess. He says that he's been watching Private Party the past few weeks, and every time they get an opportunity, they knock it out of the park. He says that he just took out the most lovable person in AEW at All Out, and imagine what Private Party could do with him. Hathaway offered a hand, but Quinn said it's another person who jumped on the bandwagon after 2 weeks and questions where he was at the last 5 years. They turn Hathaway down, who says that he doesn't believe it's the right call, but he walks away. Quinn said that they didn't need anyone in their corner. They want this. They need this. They'll take the AEW World Tag Team titles away from the Young Bucks at Wrestle Dream, and then Cassidy says it'll be a party everyone is invited to. After this, I'm like, the only way you can progress this story now is if they lose, and then that's the reason why they align with Stokely. Unless you're going to have them lose or win, and then Stokely has another team in his back pocket to feud with them.
I don't know who that team would be, but that could work. That's what I was thinking. Brother Zay. Yeah, Brother Zay was good.
Yeah, he was actually good here. This was a good promo, Brian.
Yeah. I don't know what tag team they could fucking but here's the thing. If Stokely gets a tag team, that tag team will be the B-side to Private Party. And Private Party is not important enough to carry a feud. So this feels like a Collision or a Rampage or something. Stay over there as feud. I'm just not sure who that would be. I can't even think of anybody. I'm not sure I give a fuck, to be honest.
Unless they're going to merge the two stories with what we saw later with like Top Flight, and they're getting frustrated at their losses, and what they need is Stokely to guide them.
Ooh, sure. I mean, they're healthy for the moment. So I get what I can out of them. Get what I can. Get what you can, please. For fucking these niggas have the worst luck of all time. I get what you can out of them before a fucking piano falls on one of their fucking head as they go walk down the fucking street. The two unluckiest ass niggas on the planet.
I hope Stokely didn't do anything. I hope it's not Stokely, because this is like too many times. Because he was aligned with Jade Cargill, and then it just stopped. Then he was aligned with the Firm, and then it just stopped. Then he's been aligned. Then he's aligned with Chris Statlander, and then it just stopped. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, maybe he's just difficult to work with. Maybe it's not serious. Maybe he's just Statlander's like, I don't want to work with this motherfucker no more. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe Tony's just an idiot, which should always be the betting favorite, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's usually what I go with. All right, let's snap on back over to NXT, as we had some tag team action over there on NXT. The NXT Tag Team Championships up for grabs as Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom were challenged by A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller. The match goes through a commercial break despite some flying high early on, and Axiom and Nathan Frazier are just so fast. They're so fast. Axiom is trying to rally when the show returns. He does a Hurricane Rana on the outside, but his hot tag is broken up by A-Town Down Under. They isolate Axiom for a while. He eventually shoves Theory off the top rope, and Axiom lands on him with a big splash before he makes the hot tag to Frazier. Frazier runs wild with some fast-paced offense. This guy is one of the best on NXT, bar none. Like, he's top 3, top 5 type in-ring worker on his own. Theory cut off Axiom. He gets a few near falls on him. Axiom tags back in, and the champs are soon in control with tandem offense. We get A-Town Down Under with a few miscues as it looks like they're about to hit each other. Then Waller moves out the way of the ratio kick by the golden ratio by Axiom, and he hits Austin Theory instead. Then he goes to the top rope with Waller. He hits a big Spanish fly after a big destroyer as well. Hits the Spanish fly, and then Frazier follows up with the Phoenix Splash for the 1-2-3. Fraxium retained the NXT Tag Team Championships, and what I thought was a very good matchup here. What did you think?
Good match, I must say. Pardon me. I was rather impressed with Frazier and Axiom. I hadn't seen them before, or at least in a long while. They are very talented. In a NXT, AEW, indie wrestling kind of way.
I think they're the best. I think they're my 2024 Tag Team of the Year right now.
What are my other options?
The Young Bucks.
I said other options, sir. You don't need to start randomly naming tag teams.
That's legitimately, I mean, in North America, that's legitimately the only other option because WWE doesn't really care about tag team wrestling because they just put the titles on the Judgment Day and they never defend them. And the Bloodline, which has Tonga Loa, which automatically eliminates them.
Oh, stop it! That was a fun match they had on SmackDown.
That was the first very good matchup that they've had since they came to WWE.
Not a main event.
That was a great match, actually. I gave it 4 stars.
Wow. Yeah, not a main event. Sorry. Doesn't qualify. No stars in that match. No disrespect. The latter is a star, but not that big of a star. I actually don't mind the elongation, is that a word? Of this A-Town.
Oh, did I lose you? Or is it me that's out? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I hear you. Okay.
That was me. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was like, you just cut out of nowhere. I was like, was it me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the elongation of this this situation because there's always something happening. You can see like fucking Theories now turning up a little bit. I like it. It's enough where it's not like the Chad Gable fucking. What's the group name again?
Alpha Academy?
No, the other ones.
American Made?
Yeah. It's not like their situation. We just kept talking to them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and nothing happened until finally something happened. There's at least something happening.
Or Austin Truth.
Oh. I gotta be honest. As much as I don't give a fuck about them, I appreciate that even after Miz turned heel, I'm not supposed to take him seriously. So I don't. I appreciate it. Because I don't. He should be a manager. Sorry. His in-ring days. He's not bad in the ring. He's never been great. He's always just there. But his days of being important enough to give a fuck about a match are done. He should be managing somebody. He can manage Femi when Femi wins the world title. Fucking on Raw Monday. As it should happen. Because that's what should happen.
We're shitting on Gunther now? Oh my God.
I love Gunther. Love Gunther. The second best wrestler on the show. To Femi. I'm sorry. All right, we give Gunther a little more time. What would you do about that, by the way? What would your Mania match be of Gunther?
Cena.
So I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Think you're not going to give Seth and
big matches for Mania? Because what do you think about the WrestleVotes report that they're talking about Rock, Roman, and Cody triple threat? Which I was like, once I heard someone say that's what Rock was signaling at when he did the 3 when he returned at Bad Blood, I was like, yeah, that's probably the match you should do because like you've been against Cody versus Rock, and Roman's too big and too over to not be in a Mania main event, and him versus Solo is not a good option now for a Mania big Mania matchup with him. Jacob Fatu might not be ready for Jacob Fatu to have that spot against Roman at WrestleMania. So put Roman in the triple threat.
Yeah, I mean that works for me.
And he can win the Rumble while Rock can just put himself into the matchup.
That also works. Yeah, 3 was confusing to me. I thought that was the only thing that made sense. I guess it's a compromise that they all reached. Because I gotta be honest, also I'm thinking about it. Listen, Cody's gonna make it a better match, no matter what. He's the best in-ring wrestler in that match. But Cody can fight Orton in the open tonight too. And Rock and Roman can have the main event. I'm sorry. I can't take these two seriously. Cody standing next to those two looks silly, isn't that? Does he not look like a less star? It's not Austin, Rock, and X-Pac. You don't get that vibe, like so.
Oh, stop.
one of these three does not belong. No disrespect. I don't see color.
No,
I'm just saying one of these three do not belong.
It's Austin, Rock, and John Cena. Where he's a star on their level, but he's not in the same generation of stars.
He's not a star on their level, though. No disrespect. I don't mean to be rude.
The numbers say otherwise.
Which numbers are we looking at? Is it the numbers where Raw does better ratings than SmackDown? Those numbers? Where Punk is a bigger draw than Cody? Those numbers? Are those numbers we're talking about? We can't be talking about them numbers, are we?
Hey, merchandise says Cody.
Oh, right. He sold more on Fanatics than whatever. What about WWE.com, where he's third to Punk and Jay? What about them numbers? No, I like Cody. No disrespect. Now, can we stop? Please.
This is all disrespect.
He's not The Rock. He's not Roman. He's not even Punk numbers-wise. He's just a good guy. Love you on the team, pal. You're the quarterback. You're Trent Dilfer. Well, we do some shit over here. Brad Johnson ass nigga. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. No disrespect.
Oh, this is a Trent Dilfer.
Brad Johnson ass nigga. No disrespect. Keep up the good work. Don't turn the ball over.
You know that really works because both of those teams was all about the defense, and both Roman and Rock.
Yeah, no disrespect. He's important. He's Triple H. He's Seth Rollins. He's one of them. No disrespect. You're needed. You are needed here. This thing does not move as well as it does without you. But you're not moving anybody. No disrespect. You're not Austin. You're not Rock. You're not Cena. You're not Roman. No disrespect.
He's third, but he's still there.
You're third. Yes. But like, there's like, okay, you know how it's like Hogan and everybody else? And then like we were talking about AEW, it was like MJF, Swerve, Ospreay, and anybody else. Can we agree it was Austin, Rock, and everybody else? Triple H, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, them? Yeah. Cody is in that everybody else tier. No disrespect. No, Roman and everybody else. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
Disrespect at all. I'm just saying. That's all.
That's ridiculous. That's outrageous. This is outrageous. I don't even know how to argue with you anymore about this.
Because you feel like you should, but there's anything to say. It just is. Sorry.
The only reason I don't know how to argue this is because I feel like you're saying what the booking of Cody has said. they don't fuck with him like that.
They don't fuck with him like that. That's all. Nothing wrong with it. He's a serviceable number one. He's serviceable. As a number one, he's serviceable.
I said it once to say it again. He's Macho Man in 1988.
Sure. You can go with that.
He's got the title. He should be the number one guy, but Hulk Hogan's right there. He's got the title.
Yes,
he's drawing good, but Roman's right there.
Right. And he draws better. Significantly better. Like a lot better. Like there's a significant gap. Like nobody confuses Hogan and Macho Man. You can love Macho Man. You can think Macho Man's better even. Draws are just draws numbers, and numbers say otherwise. No disrespect. That's all I'm saying.
I can't
Are they both from USA?
Yes, they're both from USA now.
So now we have a fair comparison. This isn't fucking no respect.
We're gonna see. It's only been a few weeks of them on USA. We'll come back to this conversation.
Like I told you about Mercedes, the numbers don't go up after the premiere. That's not how that works. The premiere is the height, and then it's down. Sorry. That 1.7 or whatever you did, that's the height of fucking Cody's Drawdom. He's Luigi. Nothing wrong with Luigi. I play Luigi all the time.
I love how he's the Batista to Cena.
I would make an argument. I'll be nice. I can do it right now. We get into a whole different argument.
This Cody isn't that guy. He's this guy.
Oh, this sounds so rude. Did you watch it, Cody? You're great.
That's outrageous. He's not Ultimate Warrior in 1990. He loves the business. He loves the business.
And he's great. He's great.
He's macho. He's macho in 1988.
Yeah, Macho, Triple H, Orton, Seth Rollins, whatever you want. Edge, sure. Need that guy. He didn't.
They made me do a top 20 for that Sports Illustrated article you saw, the top 10 greatest. He didn't crack the top 20. Roman's number 5. Becky Lynch, number 20 for me.
20. She the highest woman?
Only woman in the top 20.
Thank you. It took you long enough, but I'm glad we reached.
Oh no, I've always respected Becky. I just thought that Mercedes was closer, but see how that worked out. We go over to finish up with NXT before the final 2 segments that they had on the show. They did a backstage segment after a video package going over the story of Chase U with Ridge Holland doing an interview backstage where he is ambushed by Riley Osborne. They have a pull-apart brawl, and a singles match seems to be in the running for those 2. So no thoughts on that?
People who care. I'm not the audience for this, clearly. No disrespect.
No. I'm not. I watch the show every week, and I'm not the audience for this. Ridge Holland talks, and I'm like, I don't believe you, bro. I just don't believe you. Someone I do believe is back on TBS, as you had Will Ospreay coming out to the ring. Tony Schiavone welcomes the international champion to the ring to a huge ovation from this crowd in Spokane. He brings up that last week with Konosuke Takeshita interfering in his match with Ricochet. Schiavone says this has Don Callis' fingerprints all over it, and Ospreay agrees. He says he doesn't want to, but he does agree. Ospreay puts over Ricochet before saying Takeshita doesn't do anything without Don Callis giving him the go-ahead first, so he wants some answers from Callis. Callis comes out to his awful music as he gets into the ring and goes face-to-face with Ospreay. He tries to hug him, but Ospreay pushes him off. Callis said that he has something important to say to Ospreay. Last week was difficult for him emotionally, as he hates to see Ospreay unhappy. Callis brings up when both he and Ospreay beat Kenny Omega last year. He says, what about when he booked him to face and we beat Chris Jericho together? Ospreay says that they're here to talk about last week, not last year, and wants to know if Callis sent Takeshita. Callis kept dodging the questions before finally giving in and saying that, yes, I made the call. Yes, I made the call. He says because Ospreay wouldn't listen. Callis had to show him who made the decisions in the family. Callis brings up 2 weeks ago for being this close to winning the AEW World Tag Team titles because Ospreay was mentally weak. Ospreay said that he brought Callis the international title. He even was close to bringing him the AEW World Championship if Callis didn't stick his nose in his business. Ospreay tells Callis he doesn't know shit. Callis said that he was the best wrestler in the world, and he's also had the best wrestler in the world in the past. But what did he do with him? He threw him in the garbage for Ospreay. So maybe he should throw the next best wrestler in the world in the trash one more time. Ospreay said that Callis is everything everyone warned him about. He's utter scum. They're done. Callis slapped Ospreay right in the face, and this was a great camera shot, the best camera shot of the night, with Ospreay just looking off, all pissed, and Callis realizing what he just did. Ospreay threw down Callis before Takeshita hit the ring, and the fight was on. Ospreay started fighting back against Takeshita when Kyle Fletcher hit the ring, trying to talk some sense into Ospreay. But the distraction allowed Takeshita to hit a release German suplex to his opponent at Wrestle Dream. Callis handed Fletcher the screwdriver, and he was telling Fletcher to use it on Ospreay. Fletcher refused and sold his being conflicted. Takeshita tried to talk some sense into Fletcher, who got in Callis's face and pushed him into the corner after he tried to force him to use the screwdriver on Ospreay. Fletcher eventually storms out of the ring, which allows Ospreay to fight back once again. Takeshita and Callis once again get the advantage after Callis pulls on Ospreay's hair, and Takeshita hits the world-class forearm. Takeshita is going to go for the belt shot with the AEW International Championship when Ricochet runs down to make the save. He hits a springboard forearm on Takeshita. Callis bails as well as Takeshita, and then Ricochet picks up the AEW International Championship and hands it over to Ospreay ahead of the triple threat coming up at Wrestle Dream between Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita. This was the most effective go-home segment on this entire show. This got me more excited for the triple threat. I thought everyone played their role very well, and this story has really picked up since Grand Slam, in my opinion.
The story's kind of a mess when you consider Ospreay's not in the fucking family.
That is true. That is true. And it's all because Callis basically paid off on the favor. But he was like, what Ospreay should have said is like, I'm done with the family again. I'm done.
This is really good. I thought Callis was great, doing his best Tony Khan impression. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to answer your question. I thought Ospreay was really good. I like Kyle Fletcher against my better judgment. I just do. But enough. I don't need him in the middle of this. Why is this the Kyle Fletcher story? Get out of here. I don't care what decision he makes. Beat it. This is about Ospreay and Callis. And Takeshita, who is now playing fucking fourth fiddle in his own story. Whatever. Fuck it. Overall, the segment was really good, though. I thought everybody was really good. And I thought, in particular, Callis was the star. Like, there's something about him that feels very real to life. This guy is a fucking used car salesman. I hate his fucking guts.
He's Don King.
Oh, good Lord. He's the worst person ever. Jesus, I did it for years. You fuck over Ali and Tyson. How old are you? That's very true, right? The fuck? You just said he did it. What the fuck were you him and Han about?
Yeah, like, are you with me or not? Or not, nigga? Like,
yeah, it's really good. I don't know what you do pay-per-view. Ricochet playing fifth fiddle in this story. I don't know how I feel about that. Outside the fact that Ricochet should take the pin in this match. Fucking obviously. Unless Ospreay's losing.
I've heard a lot of people think that Takeshita should win this.
He should. Then he should win that fucking tournament. Then he should combine the belts. Then he should beat fucking Dragon. Then he should beat Gunther.
He is Japanese over Femi.
Yeah, this is great. This was really well done, and this was the best wrestling on the show.
Yeah, best go home segment ahead of Wrestle Dream because it got me more into the matchup coming up on the pay-per-view. We got a nice little comment here. Big Man Doug says, loaded up Punk, Cody, and Roman on Google Trends. Punk and Cody are similar. Roman is about both combined.
No disrespect. No disrespect. You two guys are great. You guys are stars. If we need you to carry the show, you can carry the show. But when the big dog, so to speak, is around, you're 2 or 3. It is what it is.
Y'all the 2s, and I'm the 1.
Absolutely. Also, you get Punk 5 stars. Good on you. So I told you, 50-50. 50-50, he's going to be objective. 50-50.
Yeah, I rewatched the match. I told you right after the match. I was like, I'm at 4 3/4, but on a rewatch, I might get it up to 5. And I was like, this is so different from every other WWE match that I've saw this year or in recent years that I think it would be a disservice if I didn't give it a 5.
Wow. I gotta watch it again. I've only seen it once, and I was blown away. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotta see it without my heart pumping out of my chest, afraid of every single move Punk takes. This is the end.
I was more afraid for Drew, knowing that he really
that bump.
He bladed and then really got cut open even more.
Yeah, good lord, that was I might go 5. I really want to go 5. I still have gone through Orton as my WWE match of the year. I know it's blasphemy.
That's outrageous.
Hell in a Cell and Cody Roman.
I think that's in my top 5 for WWE. I think right now I would go. It's really close between Cody and Roman and Drew and Punk 3. Then I would say third for me is Sammy and Gunther at WrestleMania.
Wow. Okay.
Then I would go Gunther and Orton, and then probably 5th. I'm trying to think if I'm missing out on it. 5th was probably Cody and AJ in France.
What did you think of that WrestleMania tag match? Roman and them.
I gave that 4 1/4.
About where I'm at. I was like, motherfuckers losing their mind. Like, it's a fun match, but let's not go crazy. Yeah, you know what? I'm agreed on that. I assume we both have Punk and Drew as the feud of the year for WWE with relative ease.
Yes, might be feud of the year in general in all of it.
It's my feud. It's my feud of the year, period. Only because Hangman and Swerve take place over 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be another close one for me. That's gonna be close. Like right now, for match of the year is like this with 2 matches, and then feud of the year is like this with those 2. My match of the year is either something with Bryan Danielson. It's either Bryan and Ospreay or Bryan and Swerve. For me.
Bryan and Swerve to me is easily the match of the year. That match is one of the best matches ever to me. I have it in my top 5. Love the fucking match, and I hate Swerve, so that's an impressive ass match. That's an impressive ass match, David. Shocked. I was like, this is amazing.
Oh my god, this got me so much. Oh, we go backstage to Top Flight with Action Andretti. They're pissed off that they lost on Collision this past week, not wrestling the Young Bucks on Saturday at Wrestle Dream. Andretti tried to scold Top Flight when Leila Gray said it's all Andretti's fault, as his actions screwed them on Saturday. Dante told Darius that it's those things that are going to continue to cost them, and left with Layla, while Darius looked a little bit more conflicted, like he was listening to Action Andretti.
Good Lord.
Any quick thoughts there?
Yeah, they're fine as hell. That's thought number 1. What the fuck is this? When did this light skin collective become a thing? What is this exactly? I mean, those 3 have been together. They both 3 have been together. When did Layla Gray join this group?
She joined it this past summer. She started being the flight attendant for Top Flight.
I don't hate that, as awful as it is. It's weird.
Yeah. No, it actually worked. It stopped working when they fucking tried to fucking put everybody in the flight attendant gear. And then I was like, okay, y'all all look like strippers now. Only Layla should be looking like a flight attendant.
I'm glad she's still here, because I remember her being part of the baddies. And I thought she should stay in that group. She was fucking great. And she's charmingly good looking. Another one. It's weird. No ugly people like to be wrestlers. It's weird how that works. They all want to stay on the indies, it looks like. It's weird. Would have thought.
And then before the main event matchup, they had Jack Perry backstage sitting in the back, and he says that Katsuyori Shibata is considered a legend, the embodiment of fighting spirit, who has a turkey leg in his trunks. Perry said that Shibata lets his phone do.
What was that pause?
He said Shibata lets his phone do the talking, but what's to speak Shibata's old language, fighting in the ring? Shibata might deserve to be the TNT champion, but it's not about what you deserve. It's what you're willing to take. This TNT title means that Jack Perry is the best, and for Shibata to come take it from him. We'll go down this Saturday at Wrestle Dream, Jack Perry versus Shibata. I did the pause because this nigga literally says that Shibata has a big dick. He said he has a turkey leg in his trunks. This nigga said Shibata has a big dick.
Yeah, what are we doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what this character is supposed to be. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Listen, I'm going to call this. Listen, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I got shit on Jack Perry every week, but if it's exhausting because, first of all, nothing changes, number one. And number two, I don't find anybody to disagree. Like, Frantic World just trolls occasionally, but nobody thinks this is good, except Matt Jackson, I guess. But what about the rest of us? Does he not care at all? Yeah, like, what is all this? How long before we got enough? Maybe Punk's leaving, so maybe now we can stop. Now we've all right, fine. He got his comeuppance by pushing Jack Perry. Good job. Great. Are we done?
All right, let's finish up with NXT over here. NXT. Next up was Jimmy Macram's favorite segment of the show. Joke. Sexy Red had a performance of a song, I think. I don't know if it was a song. I really wasn't listening. Which really works well. This really works well, a musical performance outside of a WrestleMania. Even then, an argument can be made that it's still out of place. But Sexy Red performs a rap song that no one knows the words to. It's thankfully cut short, though, as Ethan Page, after we see Booker was dancing to it.
What the hair? What are you doing? What kind of sassy ass shit is this?
He got extensions and everything.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah.
All ego Ethan Page comes out and interrupts Sexy Red's concert, and he gets into the ring to cut a promo. Red is looking on as Page rants and raves. He says this is his ring, and he's not leaving until he gets a title rematch against Trick Williams. The entrance of Javon Evans takes place, and he comes out to confront Page in the ring, and Page tries to sucker punch Evans, but Evans is able to block it. He then punches Page several times, and Page is clotheslined out of the ring as Evans dances with Sexy Red before we go to commercial break.
How's this better?
Any thoughts?
How is this better? I just want to know. Like, how is this better? Like, this feels like two bad choices to me. Now, granted, I'll be nice. I don't know. Like, fewer Negroes on the show, that's option A, or more Negroes on the show, cooning. I'm sorry. I'm Team Triple H on this. I'm sorry.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm going to take less Negroes on the show. Over Sexy Red? Are you fucking serious? Why do I have to pretend? We saw Jade. We saw Bianca. We saw Kehlani Jordan, Jada Parker. We've seen all these people, and I have to pretend that Sexy Red is sexy. I'm not doing this. I refuse. I'm not going to pretend that Young Thug in a dress, or in this case, spandex, is sexy. Tattoo on her face. I'm not doing it. No, I'm going to pretend that she can rap. No, I'm going to pretend that seeing some nigga dance with her is good. This is bad. This is a nightmare of the highest order. Matter of fact, maybe Swerve. This is the girl Swerve was talking about. We put it together. Moving on. We figured it out. It only took us 6 months. We figured it out. Sexy Red.
I'm moving on.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Oh my God, that was one of your best friends. That was one of your best. We come back from commercial break and we get a Delta video package, the revival of Delta. She starts beating up black people. like, like a kaiju monster wrecking havoc on a city. And she's walking towards NXT. It's rumored that she will make her debut at Halloween Havoc. Speaking of which, the Halloween Havoc Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal makes its return next week as we're on the road to Halloween Havoc. Any thoughts on Delta's video package here?
It is kind of wild. No, I don't get Delta. I've never seen her. I don't get this. I'm sorry. You said she's different, I think was the word you used. But
unique. She has a unique look to her.
Yeah, sure. Fine. I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm down, I suppose. Quite a few of these NXT wrestlers look like fucking supermodels, so I don't mind a change of pace. That sounds more insulting than I like. Unique. You got a unique look about yourself, is what I mean.
Yeah. Yes. And then finally on NXT, we had Randy Orton in his hometown of St. Louis going one-on-one with Javon Evans. This one was a lot different from our usual Javon Evans matchup where he goes like 100 miles an hour.
He's 22?
Yes.
This is the oldest looking nigga I've seen. I'm sorry. 22? Look older than Orton looks.
Evans went for a dive early, but Randy was able to block him. He then drops him on the announce table several more times, a couple of times too hard. It didn't implode at all. Orton keeps trying. He keeps dropping Evans on the desk. Evans flew into a comeback, though, but Orton is able to cut him off. He hits a snap power slam. He then hits the Hangman's DDT. He tries to go for the RKO. He gets up. He does his little taunt into the RKO, but Evans counters with a big super kick. He then hits a big double jump springboard flying cutter for a close near fall. Evans then tries for his twisting finisher, but we get a very big botch here. But man, NXT is so on fire. No one even mentioned this. No one even cared about it. They more cared about Orton finally showing he has a heart and telling the kid it's all right. Orton then picks him up and hits the RKO for the 1-2-3. I thought this was a good matchup. Post-match, we did get Orton telling Evans it was all right for the mistime spot. Aww. And then backstage, we saw GM Ava meeting with Wesley and Ethan Page, and she announces that it will be a number one contenders matchup next week between Lee, Page, and Javon Evans because he impressed her during the main event. I was like, Ava hung out too long with Adam Pearce because she's making dumb decisions like the Raw general manager. He just lost. How does he get a number one contenders match? He literally just lost, man.
Yeah, he is pretty fucking heinous. He's shockingly bad.
What did you think about Orton versus Evans in the main event?
I'm sorry, I wish I had Adam Pearce some more. That fucking that Raw shit when he had the last man standing and fucking the referees over there with 8 other people watching somebody on the ground. I'm like, Adam Pearce stinks. You guys are even medical professionals. Orton might need to, I don't want to be rude, especially Randy Orton. Legend, fantastic. Might be time to tone it back. Like, I think we've reached peak build. We built as much as we possibly can without negative consequences. Might be time to dial it back a little bit. No disrespect. JVR is good. He's fun. He's athletic. Jarringly so. Kind of like, what's his face? The light-skinned guy from Top Flight. Which one is that? Dante,
yeah.
Yeah, he's at Dante level. It's like, what the fuck is that? And listen, I liked Orton, not losing his fucking mind. Kicking his cocksucker in the head. But listen, this was fun. This was a fun main event. It's Orton in St. Louis. They went for a big spot. I get it. But it happens. High risk, high reward. This was just the risk. Sorry, Charlie. That made the kid feel good.
This was like I said, that was one of your best rants ever. He said, Jason, Jimmy said, Team Triple H, and then saying, I owe Swerve an apology in the same rant.
I'm joking, obviously, particularly about the Swerve part. I'm just saying.
Oh man, that was great. That was great. Yeah, they apparently tried that spot several times, but they just couldn't get it on when we did the match here. But it was still a good match. Still a good match for Evans. Good shot.
Yeah. Bumped big forward.
Yeah, and he's only 20 years old.
Jesus. What the fuck happened to him?
That's what he said. Orton's one of his favorite wrestlers ever. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He's only been alive for 20 years.
Yeah, they love Orton. Is he African?
No.
Javion?
No.
What's he got that face for? Like an old man face.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm just curious. Because like Kofi's got that face. Like, you look 40 forever. All right. No more questions. I'm done. I promise.
And finally, let's go back over to AEW as we had the main event. AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson and AEW World Trios Champion Wheeler Yuta facing the AEW other half of the World Trios Champions, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. We get final countdown, bringing Danielson and Yuta to the ring. Commentary questions the significance, as this could be the last time we see Danielson wrestle on Dynamite. Danielson took out Castagnoli on the apron with a running knee, while Wheeler hit a suicide dive onto Pac. Danielson then avoided Pac with a backflip out of the corner. He had a suicide dive on Castagnoli before Yuta flew in with a top rope drop kick to Pac. Both Danielson and Yuta hit double dives before back inside. Danielson applied a surfboard and fast tagged Yuta in as they hit a double drop kick double team move here. But Pac went for the eyes, and this allowed Castagnoli to make the tag and go after Danielson, isolating him for a bit. Yuta managed a tag and ran wild. He hits a snap German suplex on Pac for a near fall, but then Yuta held on into the cattle mutilation. Castagnoli broke the hold and basically picks Yuta up, but Yuta won't punch him in the face. This leads to Pac taking advantage of that. Danielson ran in with the attack and tried another dive, but Castagnoli caught him in midair and hits a neutralizer on him on the outside and basically leaves Yuta all alone for a very big portion of this matchup. Yuta would continuously try to go to the corner, but Danielson was still down on the ramp, and the delay allowed Yuta to hit a thrust kick off a springboard for the reset. A frustrated Castagnoli didn't want to make the hot tag and knew he had to. Yuta eventually tried to fight off, biting Castagnoli's hand, hitting a tornado DDT when Danielson finally recovered, and he makes a hot tag and starts going wild. He hits a missile drop kick, charging drop kicks. He hits a kicks and then the chops. Corner Hurricane Rana attempt is blocked by Castagnoli into an avalanche Ricola bomb, but that's countered into Danielson hitting a Hurricane Rana. We get the yes kicks connect as Danielson calls for to kick Castagnoli's head in. He kicks his head in, and then Pac breaks it up. He goes for a brain buster, but Bryan snaps his shoulder into the mat. Does the boots to the head to Pac as well. He starts going for the Psycho knee when John Moxley and Marina Shafir show up at ringside, which allowed Castagnoli to hit an uppercut, and Pac hit a 450 splash for a near fall. Shafir took the referee as Pac quickly went for the ring bell hammer, but Yuta disarms him. Danielson goes up top and locks in, goes up, and he locks in the label lock on Pac as Wheeler and Castagnoli are having a standoff on the apron. Pac taps out and gives Danielson and Yuta the win in this tag team main event. Immediately after getting the win, Danielson goes after Moxley. He dives to the outside onto Moxley, and they brawl up the ramp. Castagnoli and Yuta are arguing on the apron, which allows Pac to kick him off the apron while Danielson is fighting backstage with Jon Moxley. Basically, he leaves Yuta all alone with Claudio, Pac, and Marina Shafir. Shafir and Pac hold up Yuta so Castagnoli can hit him with the ring bell hammer while Danielson's going crazy on Moxley backstage. We keep cutting back and forth as Yuta is just basically getting mobbed by the rest of the BCC. Danielson is running wild on Moxley backstage. He eventually comes back out and fights off the rest of the BCC. It leaves Danielson in the ring with Yuta as he's doing the yes chants while Yuta is reaching out for his help. And Danielson doesn't even acknowledge that this man has died. This man is dead behind him and reaching out for him. He's like been shot in the gut several times, and Danielson just yes standing in his hometown. You get Moxley and Shafir. She pulls him away to leave the fight as Danielson finally checks on Yuta, brings him up. They raise his hand, but you can see that Yuta is looking at Danielson like, where the fuck were you? What did you think about the main event matchup and the post-match here with Danielson fighting off Moxley, Claudio, and Pac after Yuta was mobbed?
What do you want Dragon to do? Not a doctor. So whatever. It was a good match. Post-match.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good match.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can go very good. It is Dragon. Yeah, Yuta's turning. I hope we had moved past that, but apparently not.
I'm glad it wasn't here. Now you've given him a reason to turn. Because Danielson did not give a fuck.
What am I supposed to do? I'm a wrestler. I have no medical training. Can't help your fucking stomach. What do you want from me? This was. Do we have Dragon winning?
No, I think he's losing. I think he's losing probably due to Yuta turning.
Same. Not mad at it. It's been. Listen, I'm all pro short title runs.
Yeah.
It makes long title runs stick out.
Very true.
Yeah, fine. Moxley wins. And we can continue, question mark, the story of not entirely sure what the goal is. I just have to transform AEW. Then what's next? Murder who? The Bucks? They should probably be on the next list next, shouldn't they? Oh, with the heels, so we're not gonna do that. All right. Well, whatever. We'll see how it goes.
I think if this ends with Darby being the one that dethrones Moxley, I'm here for it.
Depends on when that is. When would you do that?
I would say Revolution next year, but I would not also mind it just doing it before the end of the year.
I'm down. Fuck it. Something interesting, please.
This seems like the year of the short, effective title runs, because I think that if Danielson's run ends on Saturday, this was an effective title run. It told the story through, and it paid it off with a big kind of main event story and big main event heel to end them off. And like I had people in the chat yesterday for Wrestle Dream saying, "Oh, why couldn't this be Darby who ends Danielson's career?" Because it's Bryan Danielson. Whoever ends his career is going to get booed.
That's very true. All right, I forgot Christian has the belt. I mean that title thing.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind Jay beating him for the contract, since that's the other wrong that Jay has to correct. Jay White.
Oh, ooh.
And they're doing the big show in Australia next year. That's why I also wouldn't mind if it's Darby winning before the end of the year, and then he has a short run that ends at Grand Slam in Australia, and that's when they crown Jay White. I know. They're not going to crown Jay White, but why not?
Because he's Jay White. They don't like him. I mean, Tony, what do you want from me? I like him. You like him. What does that mean? Listen, wherever they go, I'm fine. Got quite a few. It's weird. This roster is a mess, but it's like, if you look at it, it's a good roster. Like, quite a few stars on there. It's just they're kind of all over the place because of the title situation. there's no real structure to it. With your second biggest star, we still counting Kenny Omega when we talk about like number of people.
I think we haven't been counting him when we did our ranking of who's the top 3. We left Kenny out of it because he's been gone so long. But he should be back before the end of the year.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep him out for now. Your second biggest star in the company, Ospreay, is holding your secondary title. Your world champion is Dragon, who Ospreay beat clean as a fucking whistle. So, and Okada, by the way, is your tertiary champion. And then it's just everybody's all over the place. And it doesn't help that there's the same situation going on in the women's division with Mercedes, the biggest female star in your company, by far, holding the secondary title. This is a mess, and I'd like for this to get cleaned up. We can start with Moxley winning a belt. I'm not sure if that helps, but it should help a bit since the BCC is the most interesting thing on the show by a country fucking mile. I love that. You guys are awfully confident in all this. I won't be confident Omega coming back until he's back. Same thing about Cole.
I'm not. I'm similar with Cole, but MJF should be back before the end of the year.
Yes. Damn, what do you do, MJF? How long can you keep Austin away from the belt?
I agree. It is going to be top heavy when all these guys come back.
Yeah, but listen, when they come back, everybody else would be slotted normally, right? Everybody else moves down quite a bit. No disrespect.
Huh.
Including Jay White. Fair. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Love you.
We do love you, Jay. We do love you. I want him to get his right. But let's finish things up here with one of our longest episodes here since we had to review 2 shows, but we've come to the end. Let us know in the chat. Final call for super chat donations. Appreciate Will Chisholm and Chuck Berries for the love today, but anyone else who wants to show us some love before we end off here. And also let us know your match of the night. MVP, LVP, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. And out of 10, what did you give each show? NXT and AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. We'll start with NXT. Put our thumbs in the middle for WWE NXT for October 8th, 2024 in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go thumbs up for NXT. Thumbs in the middle for you. Out of 10, what did you give NXT?
6.5. A lot of style, not a whole bunch of substance outside of Femi.
I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good enough show. 3 really good, good to really good matches with Femi versus Tony D'Angelo, the tag team title match, and Orton versus Javon Evans, and the good angle with Stephanie Vicare's debut. So that's a 7 out of 10 for me. And for AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for me for AEW Dynamite. Thumbs down for Jimmy. Out of 10, what did you give Dynamite?
I don't know what my lowest rating is. I think it was a 6. I think I'll go lower than 6. Have I? Couldn't tell you.
I think you gave 1 a 5 out of 10.
Oh, well, then it's not my lowest. 5.5. This stunk. Whole bunch of shit I don't give a fuck about.
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. That's why it's thumbs in the middle. It was solid enough, but when you're counter programming, this is bad.
1 year ago, what are we getting rating for a year ago?
I gotta take it as it is, and I'll say 6.5 out of 10. 6.5.
Goddamn shame.
What was your match of the night for NXT?
Who cares? Femi. For 1 2/4, Jesus. I thought I was losing my mind. Yeah, I'm with you. Ugh.
I'm gonna go with the main event, Orton and Javon Evans, despite the botch. What did you give? What's your match of the night for AEW?
Who cares? Tapping out. I refuse to acknowledge any of this nonsense. Ospreay and Dunkhouse match in there.
I'm gonna give it to the main event. Danielson and Yuta versus Pac and Claudio. And who was your MVP for AEW?
I was ready to give up on the show, but then Mariah May started talking. So I'm going right. He fell on the tongue scrape. It's so funny to me. It's so violent looking to think about.
I'm gonna give it to Willow. I'm gonna give it to Willow for the win and then that pounce. That pounce at the end. That's
fucking
give it to Willow.
swerving it over here. You're right. Willow.
MVP for NXT.
Femi. I'm sorry. I got to watch him all day. Fucking fantastic.
I'm gonna give it to Stephanie McCare for the debut and just thumbs. LVP for NXT.
I want to give it to Sexy Red. No, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna give it to Shawn Michaels. Sorry, Charlie. I wasn't impressed. Is he the GM for that show? Like, is he actually doing the signings?
Yeah.
All right, then Shawn Michaels the booker, not Shawn Michaels the GM. Sorry, did a great job.
That's fair. I'm going to give it to Wesley and Ethan Page.
Oh, damn.
Sorry. LVP for AEW.
You're up, dum dum. I gave it. Hey, I did as long as I could. I didn't give it to you last week. You're up. Tony Khan with relative ease. Commander and fucking hologram for 20 minutes in the open show.
Yeah, I got to give it to Tony Khan because he did not try to counter program even at all. Like, fight, stand up and fight. Put your hands up. Jesus. Jimmy, that brings us to the end of our longest episode of AEWramble. I want to thank you for watching NXT and thank you for joining me today. Jimmy, the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
At Jimmy Macram, I guess, on Twitter. But you're probably going to block me. I say some record shit from time to time. And people aren't a fan. And on YouTube, same thing. Jimmy Macram. TV and movies. You watch them.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat, Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content, plus much, much more. And I will be back here live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with our NJPW King of Pro Wrestling preview. It will be myself and Jay News breaking down the card for New Japan this coming Monday, as well as, of course, on Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Check out our AEW Wrestle Dream preview from yesterday with me and Jay News, and I will be here live as well on Sunday to review Wrestle Dream this coming Saturday night. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill.
Oh, wait.
SP3. Yes.
Chase, thank you, brother.
Oh, there we go. Nice catch. Nice catch. Thank you, Chase, for the last super chat donation of the day. We appreciate you. We'll give you our favorite.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Crackhead ass.
Chase Oliver says for an hilariously long episode. Yes. Because we laughed multiple times and we got probably Jimmy Macram's greatest rant of all time, where he said, I'm Team Triple H and he owes Swerve an apology. Yes. Thank you, Chase, for the super chat donation for Jimmy Macram. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble episode 167.